the night out right. Panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing, till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel. We watch the threads ignite. JJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead. Dago from the cafe says forget about it. Leans back, spins his thoughts like a blade cutting holes in the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare. Every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright. Every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel. We watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night out right. Tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel. We watch the threads ignite.
All right, welcome to another Crimes After Dark on a Friday night. And if you don't know by now, Friday night sometimes gets a little weird, so hold on to your hats. It's just a night that we kind of allow ourselves to go off the rails a little bit. Even though the lead story on the thumbnail is about the David case, how did, by the way, in relation to Idaho 4, how did somebody find a dismembered body in the trunk of someone's car and take years to finally arrest him? Like, how did that? It seems like it's been way longer than how they moved on Brian Kohberger. Let's talk about a little bit about that, about how they moved so quickly on Brian Kohberger and took so long on this other guy. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Christopher Whitcomb's new book, Plea, the Broken Plea. Oh my God. We have so much to talk about that. That book is going to change the narrative. Let's get our panel up right away. Let's kick it off on a Friday night. Thank you for being here. Let's do it. Let's bring up the panelist right now, everybody at the same time. We're missing one right now. I think he may, look, I don't know if he's going to be here. He didn't say he wasn't going to be, but he did say that he was getting pulled off to a business thing, a work thing, I should say. And so that may be in his kind of like, hey, didn't you know I went to a work thing? Anyways, how are you guys doing tonight on the panel?
Forget about it.
Doing good.
I'm good.
Whoa.
Hi, everybody.
Are you guys potentially excited as I am about this opportunity for the book that's coming up with finally a book All I can tell you is finally a book that isn't a hit piece, right? Finally a book that's going to start asking questions of how the fuck did we not hear that? That's, if there's a takeaway from the book that I can tell you without telling you about the book, it's when you read the book, it's going to be, how the fuck did we not hear that? That's the thing. It's big. And so I can't wait for you guys to all have an opportunity to see that. I believe I have first of all, I know this. We have the first interview with Christopher Whitcomb out of the bang. Now we're pre-recording the show, so I can't promise you that somebody else days later isn't going to interview him and then air theirs at midnight, because we're not going to necessarily put it at midnight, which is not the best time. So I can't guarantee you that it's the first one that's going to hit the thing, but we are the first interview with him. We're super excited. I've been talking to the author. I've been talking to the publisher, working out all the details. You are in for a effing treat, you guys. You guys are in for a treat. This is going to be bombshell information. It's going to change the narrative after 3 years plus. And once again, you're going to have to ask, why the hell didn't we know this stuff 3 years ago? And how did we even get to this point?
Why does it have to come from an author and not the actual source? There's the problem right there. Why couldn't they tell us the truth? Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I'm excited about that. As far as I know, the plan is right now that not only, look, this is going to be a big reveal. Not only I believe that we have the interview being pre-recorded, but Chris Whitcomb is going to actually make time to be with us with our panel. And so you're going to get a chance to watch the pre-recorded interview in its entirety. That's just going to be me and Chris sitting down, two dudes talking shit, talking Idaho 4. You are in for a real treat on that. And then afterwards, I believe, time permitting, we're going to work it out together. He's going to come on and talk to us live about that interview for your questions and your comments. You do not want to miss it. Trust me. And go pre-order a copy of the book. And I'm not saying that because we get some kind of cut from the book. We're not getting a cut from the book unless we actually provide you an affiliate link, and then but it won't cost you anything different. But we're not getting any special deal. I'm just telling you, you need to buy a copy of the book right effing now, because when you see what's coming out, you're going to want to read it in your own words. Yeah. And exactly. Buy it while you can. Get that book. It's going to be enormous. And I'm telling you, it's a game changer for anybody who thinks that it's going to be some kind of, hit piece. You got another thing coming. All right. Let's put that aside for just a moment and talk a little bit about the intro case, the David case. Do we have pictures? I can't remember. Did I have some pictures to show on screen? For those who don't know, I think I do. Hold on just a second. And if you guys want to talk while I'm pulling up assets, or pulling stuff out of my ass, as I would say, then go ahead and let me know.
You and pulling shit out of your ass, I'll tell you.
I'm gonna pull something out of my ass. So we are talking about, I don't have all the images I wanted. I've got this image. Let's see. That image, which is he sold merchandise. This dude literally sold merchandise of bloody t-shirts with handprints on it, whatever. When he's basically believed to be the lead suspect in a dismembered body found in his vehicle, like was it 2024, late 2023, early 2024? I think. And he's the primary person you would think is found in his car. People noticed the smell coming from the vehicle. He's got a tattoo, I believe, on his hand that matches a tattoo of hers. He's done a rap song where people believe he might actually have kind of bragged in the song about killing her. And yet it's just now that we're making an arrest. I mean, you have to ask yourself, how did they move so quickly on Brian Koberger if you can have a dismembered body in your car and a tattoo and a song talking about how you killed her, and you're just now getting around to the arrest? So what do you guys think about this case? How much do you guys know about as the panel? I'm curious what you guys know and don't know.
I honestly don't know a whole lot about it, but where, like, I have like 1,000 questions going through my mind now. Why was the car abandoned? Did he abandon it? Was it stolen and abandoned? What?
It was.
He had people, or his. Sorry, Lee, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, please.
My understanding, hi Rhonda. My understanding is that he had people moving this car from place to place for a period of time, like different spots. He was moving the car to different spots, which is
Oh my gosh.
That's psychotic, okay? You have a dead body in the back of this car that's been in there, and you're moving it to different places so that they don't tow it, because you can only park in certain places where he was living at for a period of time. And like, here's my thing:
Right.
this guy's stupid. Okay, literally, you're stupid, in my opinion, dude. If you can hear me, I know you can't, but you're dumb. Why would you not get rid of the car, the body, any of this kind of stuff? This makes no sense to me how he did this, but he did it this way. He had associates moving the car, doing this, doing that, and these people had to smell this. Okay, this is
Well,
what
yeah.
I don't understand. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And again, it makes you wonder how the hell, with all of that kind of maneuvers on his part of moving the car around and stuff like that, and all of the
Right.
stuff, they haven't moved on him until now. Like what
Well,
could possibly, yeah.
He went in, he did go into hiding. I'm sorry. He did go into hiding. I know that he couldn't be found for the longest period of time. People were looking for him, asking for him, so on and so forth. So I don't know where he went, how he was doing it, but he was missing for a while. So I'm guessing that they were looking for him, and they had people watching other people that are connected to him, and finally caught his ass to be able to arrest him. So
Ellen Minty says he went on tour and his mate was in charge and he didn't move it. Apparently people was sus because he had an air fresh tree in it.
I heard that there was a few of them in it.
I don't think an air freshener Christmas tree is going to overpower death.
Little Febreze fixes up anything, right?
You would need 5 boxes of the air freshener trees to be able to get rid of that smell, and it still wouldn't work. Sorry. So
yeah, and I just, all I knew about it is I had saw stuff posted online a while ago about this musician guy who had some level of notoriety. And what I remember is that, one of the prominent comments was that, he had a song that bragged about killing somebody or something like that, but I never dug into it.
What was the name of that song, Robin? You had pulled it up earlier. I can't remember the name of the song that
Romantic Homicide.
Yeah. Oh God, hold on. The lyrics were kind of creepy.
I see a insanity plea coming in the near future.
Wow.
Romantic Homicide? Did you say it's actually called Romantic Homicide?
Romantic Homicide. That's what it's called.
I mean, talk about telegraphing your move. Oh, shit. Yeah. So I've got it on.
Says the music video, he puts a dead body in the trunk.
Which is where she was found.
He's a criminal mastermind.
Clearly. I'm scared. It feels like you don't care. Enlighten me, my dear. Why am I still here? I don't mean to be complacent with the decisions you made, but why? I'm in the back of my mind, you died. And I didn't even cry. No, not even a single tear. And I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive. In the back of my mind, I killed you. And I didn't even regret it. I can't. So that's, hey, dude, it's in the back of my mind. I'm not saying I did it. I'm just saying in the back of my mind, I killed you. Bitch, I killed you. Anyways, I can't believe I said it. I can't believe I said it. I killed you, and I can't believe I said it. The balls.
The dude is insane. He truly is absolutely insane, if you ask me. And should be I think he could be analyzed, or not analyzed, but go through a psychiatric evaluation, and they will put him away. Period.
I love this note from ChatGPT. The track uses metaphorical language about emotional detachment and killing a relationship in one's mind. It's not literal. Well, I don't fucking know if that's true at this point. It's not literal. It might be actual literal. I don't know, but wow.
This guy is very much, in my opinion, detached from reality, truly and honestly. So.
That sounds like, well, certainly, like I said, I think they're going to, if he gets, indicted for the crime, his attorneys are going to go for the insanity plea, because that's insane what he did. I mean, it's literally insane. Think about that. He left a dismembered body in the trunk of his car. That's insane.
Well, so we have to be careful, JJ. And let me tell you why. I play devil's advocate.
Allegedly.
Right, allegedly. So we can't say that he left the dismembered body in the trunk of his car.
Right.
We don't know who did it, right? So what if,
Allegedly,
is there any, look, let me ask you, is there any scenario in your mind in which a dismembered body can be found in his car, moved around by his people, writing a song about hypothetically killing his girlfriend with tattoos? I'm like, and maybe we just all misunderstood and somebody else did it. Like, is there any part of us that can say, maybe this guy didn't do it? Like, it's hard. This was a hard one. Like, much harder.
I don't know, because he kept moving the car. It smelled bad. Why would you keep moving the car all over the place? And he went into hiding.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I hearken this back to Idaho 4. I can't help it. So, you know, we're to believe a guy that does all this can go unarrested for forever, but a lone incel from across the country who has no connections to the house and no connections to the victims, it makes sense to immediately move on that motherfucker. He had to have killed all those four people. Like, it makes no sense. This dude literally is writing songs about killing her, and he goes unarrested for forever, it seems like. And I don't know. I don't care how good, like, the marshals were after him. The marshals actually did the arrest with the local with LAPD. It just, how do you, is he that much of a mastermind that he could avoid detection from all those? And it leaves the other question. If Brian Koberger did these things, why didn't he just avoid arrest? Why didn't he go on the run and flee kind of thing? Why would he just allow himself to just be followed and picked up in Pennsylvania at his dad's house? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems ridiculous.
Yeah,
Well, I heard, did you guys see the, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Robin.
No, I was just saying it's not logical for sure. No, go right ahead.
It
I saw a post that said like the DNA was found on his clothes. Did you guys see that? I saw a post within the last few days that DNA from the victim was found on his clothes. Now, if they were dating, obviously that would explain explain the DNA on his clothes. But
and I mean, she was underage. Like, if they were dating, was he over the age of consent at the time that she was under? Like, I think their relationship started when she was like 13. I don't remember what age he was at the time.
Yeah, she was 13 or 14, I believe.
Wow. I'm trying to find out about that DNA and when I asked the question, apparently it thought I was asking about Brian Koberger and not David. So let me get the right case.
That's because they're listening to you.
I know.
Yeah,
oh my God. I had a creepy moment like the other night when we were talking about something on the show, and I typed in to search for it and it automatically knew what I was looking for. And I'm like, where the fuck did you get that? Like, are you listening to my microphone? Yes, of course.
They wouldn't do that. Come on.
Oh, bitch, please. All right. Anyways. So I just found the case was interesting. I like, lately I've been kind of looking for cases in the headlines for the day, and I saw on my phone kept popping up about how they had made an arrest in this case, and I'm like, they're just now making an arrest in this case. I thought it was a foregone. Like, I actually thought the guy had been arrested a long time ago. I was surprised to find out that he had just been arrested. Like, what do you mean he just got arrested? Like, didn't they find the dismembered body in his car after writing a song about how I'm going to I killed you and I'm not even guilty about it, or not even feeling bad about it? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Anyways, did we get one? I saw somebody saying in the chat that one's around. Is he just in the chat right now?
He's in the chat, but he's not here yet.
Okay. Is he coming?
I don't know. One. Will you be joining us this evening?
I'm looking because
just
you're right.
In chat.
Okay, just in the chat. Yeah, I think there was. I mean, I think they were having an intimate relationship, I think, is what was hinted at. So, along the lines of the DNA, any DNA evidence found of her in his belongings or car could be like, well, yeah, we kind of were seeing each other, kind of thing, you know. So that could be explained, But again, you find one speck of DNA that you can't see with the human eye on a knife sheath, and you've got foolproof, guaranteed evidence that Brian Koberger must have done the murders because we found a skin cell inside the house. So, even though he had no connections to them, like, again, the the contrast between these two cases, a skin cell or whatever the fuck it is on the night, whatever it is, and I don't even think they have that. To be honest with you, I don't even think they have that. That's going to convict a guy and to everybody, but this guy can do all those things: body in his car, writing a song about it, and goes unarrested for the longest time. I don't even understand that. They don't know the cause.
They don't know the cause of death.
Yeah, I did hear that the circumstances of her death are a mystery.
Gee, a dismembered body. I can't even imagine.
I was gonna say, I think the fact that she was in the vehicle for so long before being found, and then the fact that she was probably dismembered, yeah, there's gonna be issues. I know that makes it a lot harder to figure out MOD on a situation like that. So yeah.
According to my quick little Google foo, as I say, or whatever, there was not DNA found from the 14-year-old victim Celeste on David Anthony Burke, that's his real name, or his clothing. He was arrested yesterday on the April 16th, 2026 by LAPD. Along with the marshals, because I've seen pictures of the arrest and everybody's got U.S. Marshals on the back of their thing, which reminds me, why is the U.S. Marshals? Why is the U.S. Marshals involved?
Because he was a fugitive.
It was a fugitive, right?
Okay, right. Good call. Good call.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that a social media person put up wrong information.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, come on. I mean,
I'm surprised they didn't bring you in, JJ, to with your background to be able to go find.
Yeah, with your CIA.
I was onto the case a while ago, man.
I figured.
Yeah.
Oh, he's holding out on us. Oh, man.
Yeah.
You got to keep that under wraps, Rob. You know how that works.
Yeah, you know how that is with the clearance and everything.
Oh yeah, I got to watch the clearance.
I would like to know though where he actually went and where he was hiding that they couldn't find him. That's interesting to me. It was probably right in front of their faces. That's how this works sometimes,
So let me break down some of this, the details again. Celeste Rivas Hernandez decomposed and reportedly dismembered remains were found in September of 2025 in the trunk of a Tesla registered to David, or D4VD as it's written, that had been abandoned and towed in the Hollywood Hills area. The body had been there for months. She went missing in 2024. That's why I say it's been years, right? 2024, and then doing the math to 2026.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
It's been a while, right? But again, they didn't find the body until September 2025. So that means from the time they found the body, it's been months, I guess, since they found the body in the trunk, kind of thing. It feels like it's been years because, again, she went missing in 2024. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That it had been quite a while. If the decomposition was that bad, it had been a minute. Kim's saying from Typically Unique that it looks like he was still in Hollywood. So were they really looking hard for him, or was he just kind of
right? Because you were saying you thought he went on the run, and I didn't confirm whether he was on the run or not. But
that's how we were told, that he was kind of like they couldn't find him per se, I guess. But
it says the arrest
true.
This says the arrest appears to be based on a probable cause that was developed over months-long grand jury investigation, including the fact that the body was in his car, possibly had a relationship evidence. Friends believe that they had a romantic connection, and other undisclosed investigative leads. Didn't they? So I think they had matching tattoos, and there was something about a piece of jewelry he had given her as well, I think.
Yeah. So they're saying he wasn't running. So why the hell didn't they bring him in any sooner then? That's my question.
He could have been just ditching in the area, like not staying away maybe from where he would have been known to be or hang out or something. Because what else would explain why they wouldn't even go after the guy,
Unless his attorneys were stabbing them off. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you got to have probable cause for this, and they couldn't put it together, I guess, because honest to God, you could put this on anybody. If there's nothing of his on her and nothing of hers on him, prove he did it, unless you got video,
Right. Right.
Mike Rodot says he never registered his car as missing.
It's being missing.
Never reported it.
He didn't want it back. That's why he knew.
No.
Yeah.
So
you can have that one. Yeah, right.
Damn, he should have let somebody steal it, and then he could have pinned it on them.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's a crazy ass case. Kim has been all over this. She's been doing a great job with it too. But yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I
that's
can
how
kind of.
I know what I know.
she says I'm trying not to chime in too much. Why are you trying not to chime in too much? I'm curious what your thoughts are on it.
I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. That would be a good defense that somebody stole his
Right?
car, and
Sure.
then they're the ones who killed her, and put the body in the car. I mean, that. Think about it. I mean, in this particular case, right? That's about the only defense that would make any sense whatsoever. It was somebody else. My car was stolen,
Yep.
and or or they got to her, and then she led them to the car, and they took his car, and then they went and killed her.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, wasn't it a rental? Fizzy Cake asked, wasn't it a rental? And from what again, I'm doing quick searches because I haven't followed this case that much. No, the Tesla was not a rental. It was registered to David Anthony Burke in his name with Texas plates,
Right.
according to an article by the New York Times. So it was his car, not a rental. But yeah, that's what they're saying.
Sean Marie, I don't want to give psychos good ideas. You're right. I probably shouldn't talk about that. I shouldn't tap into the dark recesses of my
here you go.
mind.
I'm sorry, JJ. I mean to interrupt you. As soon as you're
No,
done, I
you're
got
good.
something I can throw in for you real quickly. So, Celeste Rivas was reported missing April of 24. All the evidence is suggesting she may have died well before the body was discovered. The remains were found September 25. The Tesla that is registered to D4 David. I hate that name. Anyway,
I know.
it said, was he on tour? And it says yes, but specifically at the time the body was found, not necessarily when the death happened. He was
Right.
actively performing during his Withered tour in September of 25. The same day the body was discovered, he was playing a show in Minneapolis, and the reports confirmed that he was on tour when the investigation became public. So
yeah, and he
says,
canceled all the remaining dates on the tour when it was found out.
yeah, right. And this is, I guess, where people get confused. An important distinction states being on tour when the crime happened. Investigators believe the death likely occurred earlier, possibly in the spring of 25, and the car had reportedly been sitting for weeks or months before being towed. This is so dumb. Like, this dude did nothing to hide this, in my opinion. Nothing.
Wow.
Somebody says, "Oh, this is the Garth Brooks show." You guys are aware of the Garth Brooks theory?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
had people
that's a-
come at me telling me Garth Brooks is a serial killer. I'm like, what?
Right, because it says supposedly if you track his concert dates, people end up going missing wherever he's gone on concert things, and it's an interesting thing. Like I've never really dug into the. What do you guys put is that just a wild thing, or is it something that's worth digging into? It's why
I mean,
wild one. Yeah,
I looked at it for the surface of it, and I'm like, come on, you guys, Garth Brooks, he's an asshole, but I don't think he's a serial killer, and it just nothing lined up with what I was looking at. So,
And when I heard that stuff, because I did follow it a little bit. I didn't really follow it, but I listened to a few podcasts where they talked about it. The guy who actually penned that theory was on a podcast, and if there were any logical connections, I would say, and I don't think that there is necessarily, but I'm just saying it would more likely be someone in his crew or someone on his team, because he's a massive superstar who can't just sneak around undetected, right? Whereas
Right.
a roadie or again, just theorizing, I'm just saying, in that case, if there was an actual connection, it would more likely be someone that's anonymous, someone that's on his team, that's in the same places that he goes,
sure.
right? No one would know who they were. I can't tell you who a roadie is for any big
Are you
celebrity.
talking about Garth Brooks, or are you talking about? Yeah. No, but you bring up a great point, right? So in the Garth Brooks thing, even if people go missing wherever he goes, you're right. More than likely, it could be somebody in his road crew, like you say, who's just going around and doing stuff while they have time on their hands. But why can't we apply that same logic to David? What if somebody on his crew killed her and dumped him in his car, and he had nothing to do with it? Like,
I was gonna say, like that.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my next stop. Like, he's got somebody he's really close to. I can't remember the kid's name, but in all reality, if you want to look at it that way, what if it was him?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's a good point. I mean, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
It
That
could
guy-
be. And look, we all, give each other shit about, theories. We
Neo.
joke
That's
about
it.
things,
Thank you.
just kind of like ribbing each other. But it's not out of the question that it
Mm-mm.
was somebody connected to him.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. What if it
you
was
know.
Neo? That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, you just don't know. I mean, we have to stand by our principles, right? Until there's more information. You can't say for sure that it wasn't somebody on his team, and you can't. And it's just like that's a good point because with when I heard the Garth Brooks thing, and I listened to the dude who he might have even written a thing about it or an article about it.
Yeah, I think he
The
did.
first thing that I thought is, what's more likely? Like one of the biggest country superstars of all time, literally,
Right.
is a serial killer, or someone in his road crew who's totally anonymous, and is going to be in the exact same locations that he's in everywhere he goes on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This question that I pinned from a potty, I especially want to know from Dago, because it seems like Dago and I have so much of a common history, and he kind of likes some of these different kinds of movies. Are you familiar with Mr. Brooks? Did you watch the movie Mr. Brooks?
Yes, I was just thinking that. Damn it! Yes,
That's a great fucking movie.
It's an amazing movie, Mr. Brooks.
It
If
was
you haven't seen it, yeah.
It's super hard to get. Like a
Yep.
friend of mine told me about it, and I couldn't find it anywhere in the US. Like I was trying to find it on any streaming service. Nobody had it. I couldn't find a fucking DVD to buy. My friend finally shipped me a copy of his copy because it was so hard to find. If you haven't seen Kevin Costner and Mr. Brooks, you need to do yourself a favor and check that movie out, by the way. It's a very good movie.
Are they trying to tell us something? As we often see with movies and things, they plant little things that end up happening in the future.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. We need a movie quote from Mr. Brooks. There was a great line in Mr. Brooks, him and having a banter with another person in the back of his car. Fuck, I can't remember. I loved the scene. I don't want to give it away though if people want to watch this movie, but
Don't give it away.
And who was it was William Hurt? Who was the one that was in the back seat that oh gosh, it was such a great conversation. Anyways, yeah, you got to watch that.
He was just on Howard Stern, by the way, Kevin Costner.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, and I've followed him for I know, like his old movies. There's an old movie for you movie buffs out there. It's called Fandango. Anybody ever see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
is one of it is one of my hidden gem movies where him and his crew, and I'm not giving anything away because it's just it's not like a plot type movie, but they're graduating from college and they're all saying, we got to go get Dom, we got to get Dom, we got to go get Dom, and they're all like, I don't know if they might have been fraternity brothers, and they drive out into the middle of the desert to find Dom, and the chaos that ensues is just great. And it's great. I mean, the acting is really good. And this is a young Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Like very young.
Very young.
And
yes.
it's great. It's a hidden gem movie. I highly recommend it. Fandango. It's great.
It is. It's a good movie. It's an older one, but it's definitely worth watching. And I'm gonna say this, and Lee knows. I bet you this is what he was gonna say. Would it bother you to kill a woman? No. An asshole is an asshole. That was like one of the best lines in the damn movie. I'm telling you. I was like,
I'm gonna have to watch that movie,
wow,
man, because I really like.
It's
Kevin
a good
Costner.
movie, you guys. It truly
if you
is.
haven't seen, oh God, I'm telling you, it is William Hurt. I looked it up. William Hurt was the one, and the conversation, the relationship between I don't remember the characters' names between
Mr.
Kevin
Smith,
Costner,
Mr. Smith was,
Mr. Smith, and
Mr. Brooks.
and Marshall. Marshall was the name of
Marshall.
William Hurt's character.
Right.
Oh my God. The conversations that they get into and the banter, worth watching. It's anyways.
No,
How do
I'm
we get
gonna
off on that topic? It's worth watching.
I'm gonna check it out, man, because I like Kevin Costner, and he's been in some banger movies, man. Like
Right.
like No Way Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Way Out is epic movie, man.
And
And
Mr.
that's
Brooks,
all about the intrigue and the government and politics and connections and power structures. It's a great one, man.
just a warning, Mr. Brooks is not your typical Kevin Costner movie. I'm gonna tell you right
No,
now.
sir. No, sir. No,
If
sir.
you're going to watch this, don't expect Field of Dreams because this is way the fuck off of that. Telling you right now.
Yeah. 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 This is
Sounds
way.
like my kind of
Yeah.
movie.
it's a dark,
Seems
it's a
like it.
dark, it's a dark film. It's a dark film. So yeah. Good shit. All
Yeah,
right,
no,
so-
that's great.
Yeah, you put it on your watch list. If you haven't seen it, JJ, you're in for a treat. I think you're gonna love that. So, especially if
All
you're a
right,
Kevin
we'll have to
Costner
look
fan.
that one up.
Great
You
movie.
always remember what was that other one? You always want to invest in things people can't do without. Water and cemeteries. Pretty safe bet. I love some of the movie quotes are fucking amazing in this movie, you guys. I forgot how
Our
good of a
roadies
movie
look
that
great.
was. Yes, it was such a great movie. It really was. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Roadies and carnies are a lot alike.
They are a lot of. I think there are a lot of like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was basically like a roadie for 3 months, except it was exactly what roadies do, except it wasn't for music shows. It was I was living in Cali and I got hooked up with a huge event marketing company, and I went on the road for 3 months doing events at colleges all over the country, big colleges. And basically you show up, you're there for, depending on the event, sometimes it's one day. You set up, it's all day, like a 15-hour day. You set up, you work the event, you have people that you hire on site to work the events. Then you break it all down, load up the truck, and you go to the next place. Sometimes you're there for 3 days. I did an event that was like a week and a half long at one point for Details magazine, but I was living out of a suitcase and I was traveling all over the country to some wild places, through some wild places before GPS, in the backwoods of places that you don't even know exists. And it was a wild 3 months, man. I'll tell you that.
Was that what you did before the CIA?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
before
before
the CIA.
the agency got a hold of me.
Ah, shit.
But it's just like that life that a roadie lives is really crazy because they go on the road for a long time. I
Yeah.
only did it for 3 months. And let me tell you, man, I never thought this was possible, but I would wake up in my hotel room and forget where I was because you pass through.
You don't know what
Yeah.
city you're in. Yeah.
You would pass through like 5 or 6 states sometimes to get to where you were. So I'd be like, wait, where am I now? Am I and like it would take me a while to remember. But I want to share one quick story about that. That is so crazy. I was in LA doing the Details magazine event. And they just move you around like, all right, we got this event starting in this place at this time. We need you there by this date. So at this point, I had to fly from LA to New Jersey, pick up a 24-foot box truck, and drive it by myself to Tucson, Arizona. Now, you have to fill out your log, like, because DOT, you can't drive more than a certain amount of hours in a day, and you have
Right.
to have your bill of lading and all that stuff. So, but your bosses, they're not going to tell you be a good boy and follow the rules. Like you have to get to this place by a certain time. But if you don't do anything crazy. But it's like they're basically saying you have to be there. So
Yeah.
I had a couple of days to get to Tucson, and that's like about 2,000 miles approximately. And so I was like, I want to get there in time. So I had to push it. Well, it was the middle of the night, and I'm driving through Mississippi at one point in the trip. I'm almost positive it was Mississippi because I had to go down and then across. And I got pulled over by highway, either state troopers or sheriffs, and they tried to shake me down. They actually tried to shake me down for money. and they were threatening me. They were like, and I mean, this is the deep, deep South. And here's a city boy with a truck with New Jersey plates on it. And they're like, well, how much money you got on you? And now I had no cash. The company gives you a company card, right, for your hotels and things like that and gas. And like, I'm not carrying cash on me, you know? And these guys are like, we're going to have to tear this whole truck apart. You got drugs in there. You got firearms. I mean, it was an hours long ordeal in the middle of the night in Mississippi. And I was shitting my pants, man. I thought this shit is like a movie. These guys are going to take me for whatever money I have and drop me in a ditch somewhere. And eventually I was just played it cool. I'm like, man, I got nothing. I'm working. I can't call my bosses. It's like 3 a.m. You know, I'm not going to get an answer. Like, this guy's trying to shake me down. What do I do? Like, that's it. I'm by myself, man. It was wild shit.
Wow.
It's crazy.
My own little anecdotal thing. I wished I would have been a rock star. Like my life would have been different if I had been a rock star. But I remember, speaking of Roadies, I was early for one of the biggest, my first concerts, you know, like when I was a teenager. And I remember seeing the Roadies putting together the stage show is so early kind of thing. And they had this, it's hard to explain. Like, nobody's going to give a shit about this story, but I'm going to tell it anyways. They had all these big speakers, you know, all these big speakers mounted on the stage and then mounted above. There was like a row of speakers. What I didn't realize at the time was there was a curtain drop cloth going up to the ceiling from there. And when the first opening band got done, and then they dropped the drop cloth, and I saw the biggest fucking speakers I've ever seen. When I was like, oh, I just about pissed myself. I'm like, oh my God, like those are the speakers for the next band. And like, they turned the music on and it gave me the shakes. And I was like, I want to do this for a living. It was like the most amazing fucking thing in the world. It was life-changing seeing the speakers. I was like, oh my God, this next band.
You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
They used to put those on stage, the massive speakers that they would stack and line across the back of the stage and around the sides, right?
Yeah.
Some of those are actually not even hooked up because most of the time they'll hook into, JJ probably knows this. Most of the time they're for looks. They'll hook into a PA system that runs through like a central, like giant central sound system. Some of them speakers don't even work, bro. They just sit there for looks.
They got me because I saw
the reaction you gave. Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God! Like,
I did work on production for some shows and stuff like that, just like side work, you know. Just
right.
When I was playing music, you know, I was younger and stuff. Sometimes someone would be like, "Hey, do you want to help out? This band is touring. They need, you know, whatever, people to help out with their gear and stuff like that." And it's a trip, man. It's a trip. It is a lot of shit that happens. Any musician pretty much knows this, but
right.
The public doesn't know a lot about what goes into putting on a show. They really don't. Like, it's a lot of grunt work, man. It's not glamorous, especially if you're working with a smaller band. You know, like, for example, Dago knows this. If you're in like a regional band, just like a regular band, you're doing all that shit, man. You might have like a friend.
Oh yeah.
That like supports the band. That'll help you.
You don't have roadies.
No, that'll help you load gear. You're using your own gear, whatever you can afford. You don't have like someone supplying your back line for you. And that's it. I was in like bands and I played a lot of shows and I've opened up for bands, all that kind of stuff. But it was never anything super glamorous. But like one time, through just a weird coincidence, we played at a couple of clubs in New York that the guy who booked those clubs, was the manager. Anybody who knows the New York music scene, there's a band that's been there forever called Milo Z. They're like a pretty well-known funk band from New York City. You can Google
I've heard of them. Yeah.
They've been around for decades. They're like a business now, you know, like different members come and go. They keep some of the core members. And that guy liked our band. It was just a little like Jersey Shore band, original band. We were like not huge or anything, but he liked us. And he said, Milo Z needs an opening band for Labor Day weekend in the Hamptons, which was a pretty, Milo Z was big. Like they were a big working New York band that everybody in the area knew about. So we're like, holy shit. And so we were opening for them at the Galaxy. It was like a pretty famous music club in East Hampton. I'm sure one might know of the place. And we get there and they have a sound company with like that comes in and with big trucks and has all their gear and like sound guys. We had their sound guy setting up for us, doing our sound. It was like, wow, you felt like a rock star for a day because you're used to like, you got 30 minutes. We're not giving you a sound check. Get on stage, check that your gear's working, and then go. You know, it's called a line check. I'm sure Dago knows all about it.
Sir. Been there, done that.
A line check. You go in, literally, you go around the horn, make sure everything's working. That's it. That's what you get. And we got white glove treatment. And I was like, hey, I'm somebody, man. This is, you know, you feel like hot shit for a minute.
Oh God. I want to get to oh, did you just move? I was going to get to that last comment that was pinned, and I've been waiting for JJ to finish the story, and I missed the last one. Senior Wisconsin.
I'll put it back up.
If you can put that back up. Real quick, before I get to this comment, I want to say, it's funny, like watching the guys come up and test the band's music and just play a few like notes just to make sure that the sounds good. And then the crowd would go nuts just hearing the guys test the instruments. I'm like, man, that guy feels like that guy I think his dick just grew like fucking 5 inches just fucking playing a note, like bing. And he's like, yeah, I'm the shit. And everybody's like, ah. Like, dude, it's just a roadie like testing to make sure that the But anyways, Senior Wisconsin, I have to say this, like, you've been going after public records requests. I've said it before, and granted, I don't know how you feel about me, and I don't know if you ever want to take me up on the offer, but when you got something like that, if the only thing holding you back is paying for the 2 hours, whatever, you need to reach out to us at contact at devilsadvocates.info. You've been asking for shit that we all want. So if you're having any kind of difficulties coming up with the scratch, please get a hold of us. Give us the email where they're asking for the stuff and let us help out. We would love to help obtain these things. So we're sitting on a little bit of a war chest. So it's up to you if you want to get some help. But if you want some help, let us know.
Now, the reason I put that second comment up was because apparently Chrissy's Chaos, they told her they don't even have that. That the cameras were down. So which is it? That's what I'm saying. Are they just trying to get money out of Senior Rosowski? Or you know, were the cameras really up and there is actually footage?
They're stonewalling. I mean, at this point, it's pretty obvious what's happening.
Yeah.
They're stonewalling people. I mean, you know,
that's a damn shame. And it just keeps happening. It's going to continue to it's extortion, in my opinion. Sorry. They're extorting people and stonewalling, like JJ said. It's a damn disgusting mess. It is.
Senor, not senior.
Well, I'm sure it's senior, but it doesn't have the little.
It is senior.
Somebody was correcting me. Somebody always corrects me. Like, I don't care what this takes me back to the Steve Gonzalez thing. It takes me back to the Luigi Mangione, right? So Luigi Mangione, first story I got this, right? Luigi Mangione, someone like busted my balls. You disrespectful piece of shit. It's Mangione. Say it right. It's Mangione. And so I say it right. And someone's like, you're an idiot. Like his lawyer literally says Mangione. Okay, what the fuck? Like everybody's busting my nuts. Same thing happened with Steve Gonzalez. It's going to call this with a C, you disrespectful asshole.
No, it's not actually. I used to call him that, and I got told for the other reason because it's actually pronounced Gonsalves, even with the C's wrong. And I'm like, whatever.
Right.
And they wouldn't like me because I called Luigi Linguini Manicotti. So whatever.
Well,
that
is slightly off, I have to say.
You guys will never believe what I was accused of in a comment. You're gonna love this.
I probably will believe you, actually.
I was accused of being an anti-conspiracy person. I swear, I'm not shitting you. Somebody said I am anti-conspiracy theory because I said, yes, it's possible that Brian Koberger was involved in the crime.
Right.
And
Right.
and it was a long comment too.
That's hilarious, Joe.
They said, I don't know about this guy. He seems like he's anti-conspiracy theorist. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
I had to comment. I'm like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard to
Yeah.
say
It's
from
beyond
that.
ridiculous. Yeah.
That's what you got out of what I said.
Oh,
Welcome to the internet, dude. It's welcome to the internet. Yeah.
It was hilarious. I'm like, wow, this is real. That's a first.
Yeah, it is. And I was going to tell you too, Joe, with what you were talking about before that with your story, I absolutely know what you were talking about. I've been there, done that.
Oh,
You're probably
yeah.
not-
You know, any musician knows. That's why when musicians talk to each other and they go, yeah, 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 they know because everybody has to deal with
Yes.
that shit.
Yeah,
Like-
I opened up
Yep.
for 2 bands that were big bands, and I got the same feeling. Mushroom Head, I opened up for them once, and a band called Jackal. I opened up to them one time.
Oh, Jackal. I remember Jackal's name.
The Lumberjack.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, look, it's fun.
You sound
It's-
amazing as compared to what you would normally sound like. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah. And
it was amazing.
Because we used to, real quick, I won't go into it, but
Sorry.
JJ, have you spent time on the East Coast? I am from the East Coast.
Right. Right.
I am originally from Brooklyn, but I grew up, we moved from Brooklyn when I was 9, and I grew up in Jersey primarily. But my family was hardcore Brooklyn, heavy accent, and it slips out. When I get, either if I'm having a couple of drinks or if I get fired up, the Jersey accent comes right back. So, but like, real quick, just what I was saying is like I at least got to experience, because playing in an original club is very, very different than playing in a bigger club, like a cover bands where people
Yeah.
are into it. There's a lot of people and stuff like that. I played at clubs in New York City with the original band that I was in. And you get treated like garbage. Not always, but a lot of the places, the sound man is grumpy. He's hungover. He doesn't want to deal with some little pissant band. And they're just, you're on and off. You get a really short set. People might know this. There was a bar in New York City right off Bleecker Street called the Lion's Den. That
Yep,
was an original music band. Club.
Yeah.
And it was around for a long time, and people know because it was all original. And you would have on one bill 8 bands, 9 bands. You get like 20 minutes sometimes, and you get no sound check, and they're like letting you know you get on and off. Like there's no love lost unless you're like a bigger band. So I got to experience that, and I'm glad that I did, because you gotta, experience.
It's an experience that if
things.
you don't ever have it, you'll never have it again. And if you don't ever have it again, it's just like a completely different world. Like with my situation, we played at a place called Geneva on the Lake at the Cove. I got to play my set on Mushroom Head's drum set because it was already set up. They didn't want to have to set up and take down because it was just a small place. Pre-mic'd everything, so I got to play my set on their drum set. And I was like, this is fucking the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Because
That's awesome.
their kit it's like a $10,000 drum kit as compared to my little, $2,000 drum kit. And I had nothing like he had. It was so crazy, but it was amazing. And I can't even explain to you the sound difference, you guys. It's flipping insane, and it's so amazing. It sounds like
I
a studio.
have to ask. I know
Wow.
we're a true crime show.
Sorry,
but I
you
have to
guys. I'm
ask,
sorry.
No, but I'm curious because wouldn't somebody else's drum kit be set up different? Like wouldn't they have their maybe they'd have a certain symbol or whatever on the left hand
The
side where
only
they like
thing
to hit?
the only thing I had to do was switch my hi-hat over. That's all. And they was like, go ahead, whatever side you play on. Switch it around.
Oh, okay.
That's all we did.
So you got to rearrange the set a little bit to get where you're used to it being. Yeah.
The drum sets are typically set up the same. The toms are all here, the snares here. He had 2 snares, and I just moved that one to the side because I ain't playing 2 snares. And he had 2 bass drums, and they're all the same set. I just moved the hi-hat from this side to this side. That was all. So it was awesome.
It's
Oh.
great because it is a big deal when you're playing opening up for a band, even if it's a club gig. You're typically playing through a good sound system, and sometimes they will let you use their gear. But like there's a band, some people might know of the band. They're from Ireland called the Young Dubliners.
Yeah, I've heard
They
of
were
them.
around forever. It's like Celtic rock and roll, but they were
Combo.
pretty popular. And one of my local yokel bands in Colorado got to open up for them at one of their shows, and it was great because they draw a big crowd. And I always loved Vox amps, so I was like, I had a little baby Vox amp, which is all I could afford at the time. And the Young Dubliners roll in. The guy's got a bitchin' AC30 Vox on stage,
Yeah.
and I was just like, hey man, can I use your amp? And I got shot down. They're like, no,
Well, yeah,
man.
you'd be like stroking someone's woman. You mind if I play with your toy? Like, fuck off, dude! You're not touching my guitar. You're not touching my drum,
dude. It's worse if you're a drummer. I would never let anybody touch my drum kit. Period.
Right,
You break
right.
my heads. No way. No.
Yeah,
Because
no,
use-
I totally get that. Sometimes you will get a band though that's
Yeah.
cool with you, like guitar player using their backline or their
Yeah.
amp, right?
Right.
If they like you. But
Yeah.
these guys are like, oh man, they were super cool. But the guy's like, man, it's brand new and we got to go on the road. So whatever.
Mhm.
And I was like, fine, it's all good. I had to ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get it. I was so surprised that they let me do that too, especially
That's what I was
being who
thinking
they
too.
were.
I was like, that guy let you touch his toys. I'd
Yeah,
be
you
like,
break his kick drum pedal or you break
yeah,
his
yeah,
snare
that's what I
head.
mean.
Yeah, you can use my drums, but if you hurt it, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
And I'm telling you,
Yep.
I've heard many like drum sets. I've been around bands playing, local bands playing. Playing this drum set was like spreading butter on bread. It was so smooth, and the miking on it was so loud and everything. It was just perfect, you guys. And it was like after I played, he was like, "You did a great job, bro." And I was like, "Can I have your kit?" He was like, "Fuck off." It was great, because his drum set was his drum set. It was tailored to his way, but the dude was really
Oh,
cool
wow.
though. Really
Check
cool.
out this. Don't
Yeah.
you wish you were dead? The history, horror, and hauntings of American murder.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, gonna have to read that one.
I
Yeah,
have
we can
one-
break-
all about music.
One last music question for Dago. Did you guys ever play in Jersey?
No. I never got to. Always wanted to. I was in New York once, and I was in LA for a week, which was stupid of me to go out there. I did the whole, I'm gonna go to LA and become a rock star thing with the band I was in. We all drove there. My buddy's band is a typical Lifetime movie you would actually watch. We got there. We played at a couple amateur nights, thinking we were gonna become anybody, and the bands that are there were like, you guys are a joke, basically. You know what I mean? Compared to what they were like. And no, and we had to call my buddy's mom, the guitar player's mom, and say, we need money to come home because it was so fucking expensive back in the 90s to live in LA, to stay in LA. We were out of money in like 4 days. So, but I got to play in LA twice. They were, what the hell was the one place? You guys know it. Oh my God. What the hell was the name of the bar? It's a very well named.
The Whiskey?
Yeah, no, we
Whiskey
almost
Go-Go?
did that one. It was another place. They were having amateur nights. Oh, for God's sakes.
I know
it'll-
it's on the tip of my tongue, and I didn't even go to LA, but I think I know.
Not
what you're-
CBGBs.
No, I'm thinking something else too.
What the hell was the place called? You'll know it as soon as I can come up
It's
with
in
it.
LA or New York?
The whiskey was
It's
one
in
of them I was
LA.
thinking.
LA.
CBGBs is in New York.
There was
What
a
the hell is
place in the South Bay called the Strand that used to have
It wasn't
shows.
at the place where River died. No, that was Johnny Depp's bar. The White
No,
Room.
the Strand.
No, it wasn't the Strand.
Okay,
It was another
okay.
one on Sunset Strip. It was on a corner. I remember that. You're okay, Lisa. Anyway, it'll come to me later. But yeah, we played there, and at some other place called Uncle JoJo's or something like that. Never heard of that one. It was a tiny little hole in the wall place. That was another amateur night there, and like the bands these were local bands that were there that were not even like signed, looked at, anything. They sounded like they had been playing for 50 years on the radio, brand like amazing bands as compared to what we had and stuff like that. So, but it was an
Yeah.
experience. You live and learn. You know, came
I,
back here, it was
I
done.
I had one. I'll just wrap it up with this, but like, because I lived in LA for a year, and like, I wasn't even really trying to start a band out there or anything like that. I ended up hosting a really big open mic there, so I got to meet a bunch of musicians and stuff. Right before I got that road gig doing that event marketing, traveling,
Right.
uh, because of the open mic, like some musicians knew who I was, and there was a local band in the South Bay, from the South Bay area, which is like, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, that whole area in LA. And they were really good. They were an all original band called 50 Cent Haircut. They were like cool, like songwriter rock, kind of like a la early David Bowie kind of style.
Hmm.
And somebody referred me to them because they were looking for a backup singer who could play, or they were looking for a guitar player who could sing harmony. So I ended up getting an opportunity to audition for that band. And then I got that gig going on the road, and I was on the balls of my ass with money. So I had to take that gig going on the road. And I never went back to LA. So the guy just gave me their CD. He said, "Yeah, when you get back to town, you know, hit us up. We'll jam." And I never went back. I ended up in Colorado from LA.
Oh,
And that
wow.
was one of those things, like, would have been really fun because they were popular. Like, they were
Right.
making money. They were playing at places like the Strand, which is a, national acts play there and stuff like that. And I was like, "Oh my God, this could be something big." But you know how it goes. You win some, you lose some.
Fact.
Very
Yeah.
good
So,
point.
welcome to a true crime show where we talk about music.
It's
It's
Friday.
Friday night. It's Friday night. It's what we
It's
do on a
Friday.
Friday night. I did see that there were some people that were like, "I love these like off the cuff shit." So it just happens. This is
rainbow.
what happens sometimes. The rainbow.
That's
I was
it.
gonna
Oh
ask you
yeah,
about the
There you
that's
go.
rainbow.
a hugely
the rainbow.
famous.
There we
place.
go. The rainbow. Yes. And that was it was fun for us, even though we sucked. It was so fun.
Lemmy from Motorhead hung out there for years.
Yes. His name was written on the back wall, as well as quite a few other people. Again, you
Also on
guys,
the bathroom
experiences
wall.
you'll never forget in your life.
Yeah, I feel bad for DA because Robin is a singer, Dago's a musician, I'm a musician,
I
and
mean,
we
I
all
had
talk about this shit all the time, and it probably pisses DA off.
I was in
Sorry.
I was in the band Photo X for a day. I had groupies for one day. I had my moment in the sun. So
Yeah, look, it's a funny world, the playing music, grinding it out, playing bars, just doing whatever.
Well,
It's
you
a-
haven't
The lifestyle.
you haven't lived until I used to DJ karaoke, and there was a guy that came and sang Elvis songs every Friday night when I was there, wearing leather, but he had no business wearing leather. And I mean, this guy, till he was done singing, the microphone was like dripping wet. I'm like holding the
So he was Elvis in the
Right.
early 80s, not the late 60s,
Yeah,
late 50s,
right.
right? That's
He
why
was
he should have been
Vegas
wearing leather.
Elvis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
he
you
was
go.
microphone down the front of his pants big.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Elvis,
Yeah, yeah. I was
I mean,
like, oh
I
my God.
hosted an open mic in LA, a big open mic, huge open mic. It's just totally random how I ended up doing that. And some of the characters, man, out there in LA,
Mm-hmm.
it is something
All
to
of them,
behold.
JJ. All of them.
Yeah, it is
I
something
am
else,
jealous.
man.
I wished I had made my dream is my dream. Look, like when they asked me earlier for like a security question way back in the day, what's your dream job or profession? And it was rock star was my answer because like I wanted to be a rock star. Like so you're right. You're right. There's a little bit that's pissed off right now that all the musicians are talking about musician life, and I'm like, fuck all you guys. Like,
The only reason, honest to God, that I started doing gigs
yeah.
early on, I was just a dude who banging on a guitar. Like I wasn't some virtuoso guitar player, is
Mhm.
because I could sing. And a lot of times, older musicians that are really good have a hard time finding decent singers. So you go to an open stage, an open jam, an open mic,
Yeah.
and you have these like really good guitar players and drummers and whatever, and they're like, we need a singer for these gigs. And I
That's
was like,
awesome.
no experience with gigs, and I just stepped into shit playing with people way above my level of musicianship to sing. And then I could play guitar, don't get me wrong, but these guys are good guitar players.
Very,
Yeah, some of these like
very.
guys that are older that are working guitar players are really
Hey,
good.
a lot of them end up being studio guitar players that worked out of like Hollywood and LA and stuff that will sit in on albums in the studio, and have no clue who they are. They just get pulled in by these bands, and they're like, "Yeah, we need a
Yep.
filler for this and a filler for that," and they have
Yeah.
studio musicians that do this all the time. It's their like a 8 hour a day job, guys. It's crazy shit.
If you guys don't mind, Dago might even know about this place. I'm gonna tell one last music story because it's kind of funny.
Lee's gonna explode. Watch.
No, I mean, yeah, whatever. Just go ahead and just lift your leg and pee on me a little bit.
All right,
I'm kidding. I'm not one of
last
those
music
musicians.
story. It's Friday, you know, you
All
can
right.
get off the rails a little bit.
All right. We'll get back to true crime. I swear, we're gonna go back to that. Go ahead, tell your story.
When I was I didn't have a car when I lived in LA. I lived in the South Bay area. So back then, this was the probably 97, 98.
Yeah.
There was arguably the worst public transportation system of any city in the country. Any major city was in LA. So to get from South Bay, which is not that far distance wise, to Hollywood, I had to take 2 buses to get there, at least 2 buses. And then you have to take a little local bus or take a cab to get to the place. And it was
Right.
Cantor's, the famous deli in LA. It's like it's in a million movies. It's the
Yes.
Wallflowers started out
Yes.
there.
Yes.
Next to Cantor's, the deli, is the Kibitz Room, which is a little tiny bar that has live music. And I found out that on whatever night it was, they have an open stage, open jam, open mic, whatever. So I take 2.5 buses to get there.
The busing system sucks.
And then I sign up early enough, and I noticed they're not going from the list. They're not calling people up from the actual sign up sheet. And then I pick up on it after going there once or twice that that's where all the session guys go. It was near an area where there were recording studios, right? So they all really they market it as an open mic, but if there's session guys there, they just skip right over you, right?
It's
So-
playtime for the session guys, is what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, this is bullshit, right? Because I'm used to
Right.
like I'm hosting an open mic where like I do it fair and whatever. So finally, the guy who hosted the open mic, they're all cocky guys. They're in LA. They're decent musicians, and then they would have their session player buddies come up, and they were really good. This guy blanked on the lyrics to a Hendrix song, right? And I was a huge, I still am a huge Jimi Hendrix fan, right? So he blanked. It was either Little Wing or it was like The Wind Cries Mary. It was like one of those, one of the more melodic Hendrix tunes.
Right.
And after one verse, he completely blanked on the words. And I was sitting like right by the stage, and I pointed at him, and I went like pointed at myself, and he was like, all right. So I got up and I finished the song, and then I was getting off the stage. Thanks. He pulled me back up. And that's how I got in to playing at that open mic, and then actually getting a chance to play was because this dude forgot lyrics to a song.
That's a great story, dude. That is great.
You know
And
what's-
Cool.
you guys, like the things he's talking about, like those amateur nights, open mic nights, and so on and so forth. You would have no idea how many like bands, especially from the 80s and 90s, would go into those bars and look for band members just by watching these things go down. They'd be sitting in the back, so on and so forth. I watched like probably 5 documentaries on this shit. That was partially what we were trying to do. But when people would jump up on stage for these amateur nights or for the open mics and stuff like that, there's people that, you know, just like from Guns N' Roses or something like that, sitting in the back watching. If they're looking for a new band member, that dude looks good. That dude looks good. What do you think about him? What do you think? And they would talk to these guys, and some of these guys got their gigs with these bands just from doing that kind of shit. Believe that or not, that's crazy. So
it's funny. It's funny you mentioned. See, people are a lot of people. I don't know if everybody feels this, but a lot of people are saying they're okay with this whole like side tangent of music because they're like, hey, it's nice to have a break from all the true
Positive.
crime or whatever.
Yeah,
I will say that, and when JJ was so I got stories of my own for the music thing, even though I wasn't. My parents were a musician. I was on the road with them. I met Evil Knievel in a bar one time when I was a child because they traveled and Evil Knievel was there one night. It's funny though, when I was speaking of lyrics that went the wrong way, when I auditioned, like so I told you, I got lead singer of a band for one day, like because I chickened out because I had huge stage fright. But the song I auditioned to was "Talk Dirty to Me" by Poison, and I sang. That was my audition song, right? And I sang the line that, you know, it's like at the drive-in in the old man's Porsche is what I said. And this guy goes, did you just sing Porsche? Because it's the Ford. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like so embarrassed. And he's like, I kind of like the way you riff on that. And I'm like, oh,
right.
Shit, I didn't know I riffed on that. Like I thought that was a fucking line.
That is awesome. And the old man's Porsche. Yeah.
They thought you were improvising.
Yes.
I had a higher standard of living.
You're never going to ever hear the end of that one. That's great. I love it. I love it.
That's great. Look, man, everybody has an inner rock star.
Yeah, of course.
Some people just don't indulge
like the Nickelback song says.
Yeah, right.
So you could hit Brett's levels there, huh, Lee?
I want to say that yes. In fact, I think I told the story once that I was super enamored about the bass player. He was the real musician in the band, and he was inside when I auditioned. Yeah, so I was excited because he was inside talking to his girlfriend, and it was just the guitarist. I was the lead guitarist, the backup or the rhythm guitarist, the drummer, right, and me. And I'm singing the song, and that guy came flying out of you're hired. Who's fucking singing? Like he was immediately sold. So yeah, I hit the notes, and the guy was fucking, and I had groupies following the next day. 2 girls followed me everywhere I went. It was fucking amazing. I was rock star for a day. And,
That's awesome. I did the band I played in, we used to do covers. That's all we did was covers. We did have original shit, but nobody ever wanted to hear that in the bar circuit. They want covers.
Yeah, that's how you make the money.
Yeah,
exactly.
The covers,
That's all they wanted to hear. Play some Skinner, dude. You know, that kind of shit. So anyway, we used to do, a lot of you probably won't know this, but it was called, I always get the name of the song wrong because I call it this and it's not actually called this. Go Away by
Weezer?
No, Godsmack. It's not the name of the song. You know, doing the best I ever did, doing the best I can, all that shit. Anyway, so the lead singer was singing this song and he did well with it, okay, normally, but the dude got drunk that night, a little too drunk, okay, and he started like, and he started repeating the same verse again and again, and they looked at me because I know the song. I'm the one that brought the song to the band. I was very like a big fan of Godsmack at that point, and blah, blah. They all turned and looked at me like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm going, I don't know. So I pointed to my buddy, go unplug him. Just unplug his microphone. He did, and I have a backup mic because I would do backup vocal. So we start playing, and this is I'll tell you why the story's funny. The lead singer of Godsmack, Sully, is actually a drummer. Okay, that's how he started. He was a drummer. So I picked up his vocals, and we started the song over. I was like, everybody's like, we're sorry, folks, we got a little bit of a technical issue, and he's standing up there screaming into this microphone the same verse over and over again. And he's unplugged. I'm back here singing the actual vocals to the thing. Whatever. That's what it's called. Thank you.
You covered his ass, man.
Nice cover.
And they were going nuts. It was like I was over super, super excited, like fucking yeah, but they had no idea it was me. They thought it was him going nuts with it. And the funny thing is after that, they forced me to sing that song, and he would get pissed. He's like, why is Joe doing that song? That's one of mine. So I'm the singer. Blah blah blah. They're like, shut up, just shut up. Eventually, he got kicked out. He couldn't drink. That's all he did was drink. But yeah, that was hilarious. And they thought he was killing this song, and it was me back here doing the vocals
Wait,
the whole time.
okay. I don't know. We're never going to get back to true crime. I swear to God. So music trivia.
Yeah, I'm sorry when I started.
Dago, you being my age, I wonder if you know this music trivia, because everything you just said is reminiscent of a real band. I wouldn't necessarily say rock band, but definitely a big band that had a lead singer who also had a drinking and drug problem, and the drummer ended up having to cover for his ass and became the lead singer of the band. Do you know who I'm talking about? What band it is?
Genesis.
Yes, Genesis. Yeah, because Peter Gabriel was the lead singer, and the guy apparently couldn't come to fucking any practice
Bill
or anything
Collins,
fucking
yeah.
sober. Bill Collins, the drummer, ended up singing for him and ended up replacing his ass. I thought that was
I have a
interesting.
story that matches that real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
My people know this already, and a lot of people can go look this up if you want to. My biological father was a session studio drummer for the Animals. Okay, House of the Rising
wow.
Sun. So on and so forth.
Yeah, right.
He did a lot of
love
the
that
tracks
song.
on their albums because their drummer, again, okay, and he would miss out on like recording stuff and so on and so forth and screw it up, so on and so forth. But my biological father did that. And there's certain tracks on, I can't remember which album. My grandmother pointed that out to me. He died when I was 9, so I didn't get to hear this from him. But he did a lot of that, the session drumming and stuff like that for them, which I thought was really badass and maybe explained why I love drumming the way I do. But yeah, that happened in a lot of different bands I heard. But
That's what people are saying. That's what people are saying. Yeah, a lot of
that's
happened a
how
lot.
Phil Collins ended up being the lead singer of Genesis and then breaking off on his own, doing his own thing. But he was initially a really badass drummer. So
he was a
Peter
badass
Gabriel's
drummer.
no slouch. I mean, Peter Gabriel was a fucking smash
Yeah.
too, but he was not apparently super sober during the Genesis days. So
no, he wasn't. No, but when he came out on his own and cleaned up, amazing. Sledgehammer and all that good stuff he put out. Great vocalist for real.
Yeah.
Great. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Him and Peter Gabriel and another with an amazing voice is Peter Cetera. Used to be a lead singer for one of the lead singers
Oh, yeah.
for Chicago.
Yep.
Amazing
Yep.
voice. So
All right.
Are we a true crime show anymore, or are we just like a fucking music
No.
trivia show?
true crime music.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Always wondered why
I'm
Phil
an
took over.
instigator, guys. It's my fault.
No, it's Friday night.
It's
We're allowed
Friday.
to go a little off the rails.
That's right.
We're allowed to go a little.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night.
And then,
Anybody wanna finish the song?
it's all Dago's fault.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
so.
Because
Okay.
I know
think so.
he and Robin too. I know they know where I'm coming from, so I don't feel like I'm going that far out there.
Yeah.
And
Nope.
DA was a rock star for he had his 15
A
minutes
day.
of fame.
At least 5 hours.
Old
I
man
was a
Porsche.
rock star for at least 5 hours. Yeah.
In
Exactly.
the old man's Porsche.
It worked. They
Behind
loved
the
it. They loved
bushes.
it. Yeah. To be fair, in high school, I actually had a friend who had a Porsche. So I guess I just got stuck in my head. But
In the old man's Porsche. I love it.
Maybe
Old man's
one
Porsche.
night we'll
Yes,
do a
in
members
retrospect,
I'm not gonna
only.
hear
it's a
that
lot more
now.
sense. Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Every
do a
time I
members
hear that
only.
song,
We
I'm
can
gonna
all
think of
There you go. Just
tell
have it
war
all music.
stories one night in a members only.
Yeah.
Where it's designated for whatever war stories we want to tell, and the members only if people want to hear it.
Hey, if I have enough drinks and loud enough music, I think I'm a rock star again. I'll just belt it out here at the house and just fucking think like I sound really good. At least I convinced myself.
That's why I do my every so often I do my music streams where I sit in here basically and play and like DJ and play whatever. No lie, I do it all the time, and then I'll sit here and start singing along. Then my son comes in, he starts singing and playing his guitar, and it just turns into a thing. So we do that.
Check out Dogma.
I know, it's hilarious.
I'm gonna go watch the music channel and hope that they talk about true crime.
Right?
I don't know. I
guys.
think people like our diversions. If we didn't have good stories, then I would say, bad move. But I think we all have good stories.
Everybody loves music too, and you can't say that that's not true.
Right.
People will stop whatever they're doing if you're talking about or doing anything with music and say, I want to talk about this.
God, I wish
Absolutely.
I could show you. I wish so bad. Oh my gosh, I wish so bad. Maybe Rhonda can cover my ass if she knows where it's at. So I have a band photo of my parents when they were in the band back there, and it is so fucking 70s. It's so awesome. Like if I could show this photo, it would be a riot. My parents formed a band that they were originally called Wagon Wheels because they started out doing country and Western kind of music.
Right.
But they ended up being a top 40 band. We traveled all over the country. I started school on the road and had tutors on the road as with that. And they ended up calling their band Heather, which was named after my sister who died of SIDS when I was a very, very young child. So I barely knew her. But anyways, I got a photo that is their band photo. Probably the best my mom ever looked. And it's a crazy photo. Like, God, I wish I could find it real quick. Rhonda to the rescue. You got to go find my band photo. I know we got it somewhere in the house. I can see her. She's like trying to figure out where the hell it's at. So if I can bring that up on stage, you got to see it because it's worthy. It's worthy. Like that was the days. And they traveled all over the country. I remember hearing the wildest stories from the road days. They had a mobster one time at a bar that was just throwing tons of cash at them. And then they sat down and they didn't realize he was mob connected until they asked him, where the hell did you get all this money? And he got super serious and said, never fucking ask me where I get my money again.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Moonchild.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So anyways, yeah, it's the road was a fun thing. I mean, even as a child, I it was funny. Like I kind of remember like going out to, I would get to go to the bars with the band after their set closed, and we'd go to Denny's, right? Because Denny's would be open all night long. And so they'd close down the bar and then we'd head to Denny's and they would play games where nobody was allowed to talk unless it was a lyric from a song. And so the whole conversation had to be done in song lyrics. And so I learned a lot of music trivia just kind of hanging out with the band, and they would talk song lyrics to have conversations and shit. Crazy days.
Did you say Denny's?
Denny's.
Yeah.
Dude, that has to, and where were you living when you were doing that?
Everywhere. Like we were all over the fucking country. Like we were.
That must be a thing then, because our Denny's here, that's exactly the same damn thing we all did. We would sit up there all night writing songs and bullshitting and talking.
Yeah,
and
you go to Denny's, you hang out, you have coffee all night long for like $2.
Yes.
You can drink coffee and you drink all night long.
And they don't kick you out like every place else. And Denny's,
Right.
I love Denny's, truly and honestly.
Dago, have you ever heard of the band Dragpipe?
Absolutely. Actually, no, I haven't.
They were a big
Dragpipe.
band, hard rock, heavy rock band back in, I guess it would have been maybe late 90s, maybe something like that. They were big. They were on Interscope. They toured with Marilyn Manson all over the world. And, you know, the singer was unmistakable, head to toe tats, metal teeth. But I used to jam with the singer of Dragpipe.
I think I know who you're talking about. Dragpipe. I don't know why I don't recognize the name though.
Yeah,
okay.
they were pretty big. But I used to work after Dragpipe. You know, they were dropped from Interscope. I worked with the guy, the singer of Dragpipe, and we used to jam together like a lot. You know, regularly. But it was totally different music. It was more like sort of funky kind of
alternative metal.
Yeah, Dragpipe. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like, yeah. And that singer, I used to jam with him. He was actually a really good drummer. He was a
I know
really
who they
good
are.
drummer.
I do know who they were. They used to do they used to work with like Twiggy Ramirez from
Yep.
Manson and all that. Yeah.
Yes.
I know, and Jason Newsted from Metallica. I know who they are. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that guy was a good drummer, man. He was the lead singer, Jay Diablo.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Pete Pereira was the drummer. Pete Pereira. Yep.
Yeah. But the singer of that band, he was a legit drummer. Like he could play. He was naturally a good musician, and we used to jam and stuff. So I know you're into like rock and stuff like that. I thought you might know
definitely.
them.
Yeah. I
So
didn't
Robin-
recognize the name, but yeah, I got it now, JJ. I know who you're
Robin,
talking about.
were you in a band of any kind, or did you just do solo? Like you
I
obviously
did a lot of solo stuff. My whole family is musical. My dad and my uncle and aunt, and they had a band, and they used to stand us up when I was like 3 years old, singing to the old country music, records and stuff like that. And I just grew up
Yeah.
singing. I've always sang. I've done weddings, DJ'd, karaoke, opened for like Travis Tritt, and
Okay.
not open.
Wow.
I should clarify that. At our local fair, I sang the national anthem before the acts would come on, but a lot of times I got to hang
Yeah.
out backstage with the bands. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of fun stuff like
Well,
that.
who was your biggest influence then, if you go that way, Robin? Like, who you like formulated your styles and stuff after, if I can say?
Well, actually, my all-time favorite artist is Whitney Houston.
Oh
That
wow.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
That
That makes sense.
that is she.
She had some
Man,
pipes on her. Yeah.
when she passed, that was rough because she from the time I was probably 10 years old, I mean 10, 11, somewhere around in there, she was my favorite. So
Oh.
yeah, so but I've sang country, I've sang uh, I don't even know, all kinds of different stuff. So but yeah, she's my all-time favorite. Yeah.
All right,
Metallica
Robin.
and Guns N' Roses.
I was going to say, who's your first concert? Robin?
1989. That was my first
yours
concert.
Metallica
Yes.
and Guns N' Roses.
Yep.
Did you go to any concerts, Robin?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh
Do you
geez.
remember what your first concert
Listen,
was?
now this is going way back to early 80s, from
I'll be right
Eddie and
back.
the Cruiser movie.
Oh my God.
Beaver Brown Band.
Beaver Brown Band. I love them. Love
Yeah,
them.
Beaver.
Wow.
Yeah. On the dark side. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was, I
on
think that was probably my favorite, or
Tender Years.
our first concert. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
John
So
Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. On the dark
thank you,
side.
thank you.
Oh,
and,
I couldn't think of that. I
yeah.
knew
On the
John. I couldn't think of
dark
Cafferty.
side.
That was huge. That song.
that was monster. I love
Yep.
that band.
Those
Tender
movies are
Years.
awesome. Love those
Yeah.
movies.
Yes, they are. The second one is a little bit off, but yeah.
Yeah,
Michael.
definitely the first one. Parade.
Yeah. Michael Pare. That's
Yeah,
it. He played
Parade.
Eddie.
Yep.
Great. And you know what? When I was a kid, I thought that was a true story. I swear to God, I did. They did such a great job with that.
That was classic, man. That was a
Yes,
classic.
you're gonna make me
Yeah.
watch. I'm gonna pull that
Yep.
up and watch that tonight. Watch. I love that movie.
There you go.
Love that.
There you go. Awesome movie.
John Cafferty was one of the most underrated bands because nobody knew who
Yes.
the fuck they were. They thought back in the
Yeah.
80s, everybody thought that Michael Pare was the actual band leader and the singer of
Right.
that
Yeah, they
band. So
thought he
nobody
was the
looked.
actual singer.
Yes, nobody
the
would look
part.
them up. He did. He definitely did. He fit it well. And of course,
Yeah.
Sal, the bass player, the guy that played the bass player, they all fit their part. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And that the
Yeah.
saxophone player actually was played. The saxophone part, from my understanding, was done and laid over a track over track. I can't think right now. Track over by Clarence Clemens from Bruce Springsteen. Okay, and the other guy
Yeah.
wasn't actually a good. Did not play, is what I'm saying, in the movie.
No.
So
No.
So we
Great
got
stuff.
Robin, we got Dago. What was your first concert? Do you remember, JJ?
I'll be right back, guys.
My first real concert was Bob Dylan, backed by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at Madison Square Garden.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was the first real concert. I was 15.
I was never a Dylan fan. Bob Dylan just did not reach me. I don't know. Maybe there's.
I
something
loved
but
his early
Tom Petty, I
early
loved.
stuff. But I'm
Yeah.
a massive Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers fan.
for sure.
But I was right there in that side stage. It was awesome. I was 15. My boss took me, and because he was a big music fan, and he would take me to concerts like pretty regularly. He would pay. He would just get tickets to shows, and he would want to go. And he'd be like, "Hey, I got tickets. You want to go see the new Van Halen, or do you want to see David Lee Roth's band?" Or we saw like several shows together, but that was the first real show.
Wow.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers with Bob Dylan, Madison Square Garden. It was awesome.
That's insane. That's great.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
great.
DA, give it to us.
I don't know if I can
Cheers.
remember the first. They all get mixed together. So I want to say the first was Monsters of Rock, which was actually a multi-band concert. It was Metallica, Scorpions, Dokken, Kingdom Come was one of the bands, and there was one other there as well. So that I want to say that was probably my first concert, but it could have been that, or it could have been Aerosmith. I actually saw Aerosmith in concert, and at the time I saw him, Steven Tyler was an old dude, and the dude was doing handstands on fucking the big huge PA system and flipping off of it and stuffing towels down his crotch and throwing it into the. I'm like, this dude's too old to be doing that shit. Like, what the hell?
Cocaine is a powerful drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Yeah. So, anyways, I can't remember who was first. I think it was Monsters of Rock, but I saw a lot of bands back in that same era all together. I kind of packed in a bunch. Saw Motley Crue and Def Leppard and Tesla, which with Def Leppard, and but I think probably Monsters of Rock was the first one.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it was big. Yeah, it was big. Okay, so we have a true crime show. Let's make some semblance. First of all, is there anybody in the audience that has an actual true crime thing that hasn't checked out already and said, okay, I can't do these Friday night shows? And I wish that we would. I know that you probably went to go watch a music show to try to see if they would talk true crime, but now that you're here, is there any true crime question you guys want to talk about? Idaho 4 in particular, of course, is still hot and heavy, especially with the new book coming out that and we are super excited on this channel to get the opportunity to be one of the first people ever to interview on that book. That's going to be enormous. Anyways, I'm looking for some questions in the comments. If you guys got anything, let's.
DA, didn't you say we're going to go late tonight because it's Friday night and we're going to give the chat what they're, what they really want?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I have a curfew, but I don't know that I said I was going to go late. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if it goes, it goes. Yeah, you guys are babies.
That's CIA manipulation.
That was a CIA manipulation tactic all the way. Yeah, I got it. I see that word. Yeah, so
I did the Jedi mind trick because I like when we go late on Fridays.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I've been tipping a few, so I mean, who knows? I've lost track of time. I don't even know what day it is. Just kidding. I know what day it is.
I'll be right back. Gotta pee. And
after these messages, I'll be right back.
Right back.
Yeah.
And the old man's Porsche.
Oh yeah. So Steve Gonzalez's daughter. Have you seen what's going on, Sam? Have you seen what's going on with them? So we can talk a little bit about that. I did see what Harsh Reality put out. Is that what you're talking about? There was a phone call that I think it was recorded. Well, first of all, the Gonsalves has apparently put out a cease and desist order to one of his own daughter from a previous relationship. As I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong. If I understand it, Steve Gonsalves had a daughter, I think, right, with a previous marriage. And Christy and I don't want to talk shit about a family. This isn't for the purpose of talking shit. I'm trying to understand the dynamics. If I remember right, the story goes, Christy's not terribly happy with Steve being even in touch or anything with that side of the family, doesn't want to. And so she kind of gets treated as the ostracized child. And then she goes out and she gives her opinions about things, and the families, Christy and Steve, are like giving cease and desist orders her to shut the fuck up about shit that she doesn't know what she's talking about, kind of thing. And that's making kind of the rounds now of the whole. And then I guess then she comes out and she's got a recording that Harsh Reality got a hold of the daughter. It sounded like a recorded phone call with Steve, where she's, instead of calling him her dad, she's like, look, Steve, you treat me like this, you treat me like that, you've always treated me like shit, and I just want to connect with you as a father, but you fucking wouldn't have it, Steve. I don't know, like, did you hear that whole phone call thing? And
I did, yeah.
No,
I've actually had Sam on panel and talked to her before, and there's a lot of it's very sad. Okay, the whole situation is very sad. And like she said in the one statement she makes, and I fully can see it. Like she's very obviously very upset at the loss of her sister, but what she's struggling more with and grieving more over is the loss of her father.
That's what she said on the call, right? She's like, I grieved more than losing Kaylee. I grieved losing you because I can't talk to you guys. I can't have any communication. How well did Samantha know Kaylee? How long ago was that departure, and did she really hang out or know Kaylee very much or not?
What I've understood, like, she knew her pretty well, younger years, more so, but that's how I understood, based on things I was told and heard. So I mean, it seems like she knew her pretty well. So the whole thing makes no sense to me. and again, like you said, I'm not slamming the family at all. I just don't
Yeah, like
understand. I don't understand that. Like I was talking, I have a blended family. When me and my wife got together, I have 3 children from my previous marriage. My wife has 3 children from her previous marriage, and then we got together and we created one, you know? Um, okay. Rhonda says, according to Samantha's social media, they never met in prison. Okay, person. Well, she said on
in
the panel
prison,
that,
they never met in prison.
yeah, she said on that panel that night, unless she was, you know, off by something, I don't know, but that she had a relationship with her. So I don't
And
know.
harsh, and so I feel bad, and maybe my judgment is not the
Right.
best, you know, but I feel bad because I talking about a family, I don't know that family, you know, but it so take that for what it's worth. I don't know the family, but I think harsh reality was making, because he had talked to Samantha before himself as well. He said, you know,
Yeah.
he's talked to her several times, right? And it seemed to me that there was a part of what harsh reality was saying where he was like, it seemed like Steve didn't believe the story that is being told to all of us about Koberger being guilty and whatever. But at some point he decided that keeping his wife happy was going to be the more important thing. And so he just decided to just suck it up and quit talking about
Yep.
what he feels for the sake of his marriage. And then it makes me wonder, like, did that happen? Did Steve just go like, this isn't what I believe, but fucking, I want to stay married. I want to keep my happy marriage, and my wife won't have any part of it. Like, I don't know. Did that happen?
It seems that way though.
Is
When
it
you
any
watch
of our
certain-
Yeah.
business? I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? I
Well,
don't know.
all right, think about some
Well,
of the interviews
because
we've
look
watched.
at,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, look at how many people get divorced when something like this occurs. So maybe
Yeah.
that is a conscious decision that
Right.
he made. I mean, it could very well be.
Yeah, I agree. And if you look back at some of the interviews where, especially the one specifically, I think it's Brian Enton, when he looks at Steve and he goes, "So, Steve, let me ask you this: Are you open to the fact that with the possibility of there being multiple people involved in this?" And he said, "Yeah." As he's saying, "Yeah," Christy's saying, "No."
Yeah.
Same time, sat
Yeah.
right next to him, and I was like, "Oh, that you definitely can tell there's a separation there." Okay.
I have always believed that Steve felt differently than she did. And then the question becomes,
Yeah.
when Steve started shaming the public for talking about the questions, I got kind of a little like, I've always said this. I kind of feel like I understand Steve a little bit, but by the same token, it's at the point that he gets to the point where he's shitting on other people for having the same questions that he himself had in the early stages. I'm like, dude, like,
Right.
I understand if you decided to keep your family, intact and quit talking, but then actively shitting on other people for asking the same questions that you were asking. That's the part that I'm like, I don't know if I can
It's
totally
weird.
get him wanting to keep the family together, but don't also then publicly shit on people for asking the same questions that you yourself were asking.
And I almost feel
Right.
like Christy and Olivia are at this point, and Steve is over here. That's just how I see things at this point. I may be wrong, but that's just kind of, and I think Steve, just like you said, happy wife, happy life type situation. You just follow her and agree with her, and you'll be happy, and the family stays together. There's no problem. So it does make sense to me, truly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
don't
just
know.
crazy that he was the one complaining about his speech being impinged on, infringed on his free speech early in the case because of the gag order and because he was talking a lot, and he was pissed, right, that they were trying to silence him. He
Right.
was very vocal about that. And then his family goes and gets a bill passed in Idaho to not show crime scene photos, which is a violation of the First Amendment.
Look, if any of the stuff between Steve Gonzalez and Brat Norton was real, Steve showed a willingness to theory craft. He was trying to theory craft. What could have happened here? Is it possible this happened? Is it possible Bethany saw something? He was asking
It's real.
questions and theory crafting.
Mhm.
And at some point it became locked down narrative. Brian,
Yeah.
and it feels like, honestly, it feels like the only moment it changed is when the plea deal happened. When Brian Koberger pled guilty, Steve said, then fine. If he's going to plead guilty, then the judge needs to make him say he did it by himself. It's almost like Steve knew he didn't do it alone. But if you're gonna go down the fucking plea deal thing, then make him say he did it on his own and put closure to the fucking thing. But I didn't feel like he honestly believed that's what happened. It was like, make him say he did it by himself so that everybody can get closure, because that's not how it happened. But make him say it.
I agree with you, and I think that's why he pushed so hard and got so pissed that there was no trial, because he kept saying,
right,
the entire truth needs to be heard. The entire truth needs to come out. The entire truth, the world needs to see it. That's
and he kept hinting, wait till you see that wait till this goes to trial and you see what happened. I think he believed we were gonna get to the bigger picture, and they fucked him. They fucked him with the plea deal. And that's why he's mad. And in my opinion, that's why he's mad, because I think he thought that this was just the start of going to get the bad guys, and they were going to get the rest of them. And they decided they were going to just wrap it up in a neat little bow and take one guy. And he got pissed, and he's like, fuck you guys. Like, I've been waiting for you to get them all, and you're just going to go for one guy.
I don't blame him for that.
I think that, in my opinion, that somebody in a higher up position got in his ear, and somebody else got in his ear about filing the lawsuit. And once they filed that lawsuit, if there's more people digging into the inconsistencies and raising questions about the guilt of Brian Koberger and pointing to evidence that suggests the official narrative is bunk, that would jeopardize the lawsuit. And that is, in my opinion, why things shifted. It came from outside sources that influenced them, and now they have to double down because there's a lawsuit, right? If he starts talking about potential alternative perpetrators, then that doesn't totally eliminate the lawsuit, but it diminishes it quite a bit.
Right. And that's the part. Right. That's the part I hate vocalizing. I hate vocalizing this, but it makes me wonder. Did Steve in his heart believe it was multiple people? Did Steve in his heart believe that the trial was going to open it up and this was just the tip of the iceberg? Then they fucked everybody by taking a plea deal with saying it was one guy when he knows it's not. But at some point and it's just a question. Did his wife say, look, we have to go with the one person scenario, and we're going to sue WSU because of the one person scenario. And you're jeopardizing all of that if you keep pushing for the truth, which is that it was more than one person. So shut the hell up. And did he decide to acquiesce and say, fine, you know what? Because again, the argument can be made. You're not going to bring Kaylee back by getting the rest of the people. So why not make the best of it that you can? Get a big, gigantic lawsuit against WSU, make them pay you. And that's the best you can get out of this situation. You're never going to get justice, but maybe you can get a payday. Like, did that happen? I don't know.
I mean, that sounds basically like what has happened, in my opinion. That's what I see. So I'll just be honest. That's exactly how I see it at this point, and it makes perfect sense to me.
I mean, you remember, I remember seeing videos of him teaching Kaylee how to shoot. I remember him speaking about speech being infringed on. That is indicative of somebody who values the Constitution, right?
Right.
And then to somebody flip-flop and push for a bill that literally, I mean, not literally, but pretty much it's a violation of freedom of the press. Right, the free flow of information to the public and investigative journalists and so on. Right, so to me, that doesn't happen with long-held beliefs. And, you know, it doesn't just happen by accident. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. I'm very much a civil libertarian. I think the civil liberties are one of the most important things we have in this country. So this type of things really stands out to me. So it just makes you wonder, you know.
And then you have to ask this question. And again, I'm not making accusations, I'm asking questions. So if let's say, for example, theory crafting this, let's say, for example, Christie's like, stop your pursuit for figuring out what really happened. Go with the lone story. Let's sue WSU for not stopping it, kind of thing. And it may not be the truth, but at least we can get something positive out of this. But that's the problem I have, is that at that point, if they decided that it wasn't going to do anything, can they just pocket their emotions that the rest of us didn't buy that story? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they have to vocally come out and attack people for continuing to ask the same questions that I think are looming on his mind and other people's minds, and act like we're disgusting human beings for asking the same questions that I think that he was asking, just because they decided that it wasn't going to solve anything, so they're just going to shut up? That's fine. They can shut up. They can shut up, and that's fine. But don't actively go out and shit on the community for trying to find out what really happened. That's the part that I'm struggling with.
And then, look, I know
we're
allowed to ask questions.
Right.
He himself said that Kaylee was conservative.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, generally, I'm generalizing, and I'm just speaking to this point. People that are conservative typically would not be pushing back against the Constitution. Generally speaking, I know there's different, gradations to that. But in general, I would say that is fairly accurate. And she didn't come upon that on her own. I'm guessing it had something to do with her upbringing. So it's just odd to me. That's all. I'm not indicting anybody. I'm just same as you guys. We're just asking questions like the flip flop. What's it all about? Because remember, we were all on board with Steve in the beginning. Like, yeah, we want the truth.
Yeah.
And this is, and Sausage Biscuits words it the way that I'm worried about. At this point, are they themselves wanting to insist on the lone killer thing because that's the only way they win that lawsuit? If Brian Kohberger did it by himself and they didn't stop it when they should have, they get a payday. But if it turns out Brian Kohberger didn't do it, they get no payday. If Brian Kohberger didn't do it alone, they get no payday. So the only way they get a payday is if he did it by himself and they could have stopped it. So you have to ask the difficult question: are they tainted by the idea that the lawsuit will fail? And so maybe it's just a question. Maybe at this point they don't want to know the truth at this point because it would jeopardize that lawsuit. You have to ask if money taints your judgment in that case. But
I mean,
and it probably won't, but I really do hope it does end up going to trial. Like it probably won't, but I really hope that it does, because at that point we will, hopefully get to some more answers, and so
yeah, but hopefully if it goes to trial, the truth comes out in the trial, not more bullshit.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
The problem is in America, especially in civil lawsuits like this one is, it usually ends in a plea, not in a plea, in a settlement. They'll settle out of court for undisclosed amount to avoid the details coming out in public. So the public will the public will be robbed of knowing what happened by a hidden, this won't go to trial. We'll settle because it's cheaper for us to settle out of court and pay you off than to lose and have the truth.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Right.
And
because
also,
what if, it does end up looking bad for WSU? I mean, they could run the risk of, it costing them more money, if people stop sending their kids there, or, what. So here again, we go back to protecting a university, because of monetary reasons. So,
right.
And also there are other powerful entities that are likely connected to this case that have a lot of influence and ability to sway things.
Yeah.
And everybody, I mean, this is any human being, any regular person. We're not robots, right? So can be influenced by things. And somebody in the chat had said maybe they were threatened. Look, man, these are all possibilities. I mean, when I was there in that area, I picked up on this. DA probably did too. I just picked up the vibe. Like when they asked us why we were in town at the hotel, I was like, I think maybe people are very sensitive
Yeah.
to like people coming into the town that they don't recognize. What are you doing here?
Well,
Kind
look
of
at what
thing.
Lee went through when he went by himself with him and Rhonda. Remember that
Right.
situation in
Yeah,
itself tells its own story.
chased
Right.
off by a guy that's super aggressive. What the fuck are you doing in this neighborhood? Get the hell out of here, you know?
Right. And I
then
think,
followed out of town by the police. Now, come on.
Right.
yeah, right. So I think that area is super sensitive to everything that happened in relation to the case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so.
And
I
it
agree with
bothers
that.
me that yeah. It bothers me because I think internationally now, it's not just a United States thing. Internationally, the world, there's a large, one can argue that there's people all over the world who want to know what really happened.
Right.
And yet they scare you off and bully you if you come asking questions like, we don't want you here. Like, well, you may not want us here, but the fucking world wants some answers because
Yeah.
we don't believe it happened the way you said it did. And if you want to crawl
Nope.
under a rock and if you want to hide behind we just want you to go away, that's all great and dandy. But the rest of the world wants some answers. So.
Right.
Yep. That's a fact, sir. Absolutely agree.
Do you guys remember in the beginning of the case, when I was following it early on, there was a show, quote unquote show. It was called Midnight Radio. Did you guys ever catch that? Remember
I
that?
used to watch that. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah. He was covering the case, and he was kind of Jerry. His name was
Jerry, yeah.
He was kind of a big guy. But what he would do is he would literally have a phone number that
Mhm.
people could call into and give their theories. And
Yeah.
and he would have a voicemail, and people would call in when he wasn't on the show, and then he would play the different voicemails on the show.
Right.
And I called in a few times. This is really early on about the 8-hour delay, because I was working really early in the morning at the time, and he would be on. It was kind of crazy. He would be on at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And I was getting up really early for work back then. So I'd have my coffee and I would listen to his show just because no one else was like doing their show that early in the morning. And so he would talk about different theories. And that is one of the ways that I got sort of engaged into the case rather than just kind of watching and hearing the drivel that was going around with the mainstream creators and the mainstream media.
Right.
And so, Jerry, if you're out there, I credit you as one of the ways in which I got sucked into this case. And I wish you kept the show going.
Disappeared too.
Yeah, and Ashley Banfield even gave him a shout out on the show one time.
Right.
And so he used to go, Dago might remember this. Whenever he was going to talk about what Ashley Banfield was said or whatever, he'd go, Banfield. And he'd be like, real animated. He'd go, Banfield, whenever her name came up. And involving the case. But yeah, he was one of the people early on that I credit with because he enabled people to call in. So you didn't have to be on camera. You didn't have to, come up live or whatever. And he would play your stuff.
I do remember that. Yes. That was
Jerry
the Banfield thing.
Look him up. He was quite a character.
Yeah, and he was doing good, it looked like, and then he just disappeared one day.
Yeah, he was good. I enjoyed his show. I mean, I didn't agree with everything that and he's the one who started calling Brian Koberger Nothing Burger.
Nothing Burger, right?
And this is like really early on. But anyway, shout out, Jerry.
Nice. Well, very cool. Oh,
I don't know if it matters, but and I don't know that it's real yet. Okay, but I've had 3 people. I got 3 emails and 2 messages saying that Nancy Grace, and I looked, and it's the only thing I see, so I'm not taking it serious yet, but that there is a suspect supposedly detained in the Nancy Guthrie situation. I don't know if that's real yet.
I did see something about that the other day, and I was going to comment it on our show, like, "Hey, there's a Nancy Guthrie update," and nobody talked about it, so I forgot all about it. But.
That's the only thing we can find on it, though. So I don't know if you want to take it or not take it, but Nasty Disgrace is the only place we can find it.
Well, you know that she tells nothing but truth, so.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, oh my God, if I could go back to some of the shit Nancy Grace has said about Koberger, I could just,
It's disgusting.
and she's
Disgusting.
always featured at CrimeCon. She'll be there with fucking doing her special present. Come meet Nancy Grace, who just makes shit up about panty sniffing Koberger, who wants to. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's just to me, oh God, I can't do it, man.
I can't believe that's still a popular thing.
But you know what? It's Crime Con. We know what it is, and I understand. Look, if I was a so-called journalist on a mainstream type of program, like I would be going to Crime Con and really taking in every aspect of it without questioning things. Like we saw the clapping at the Othram Labs thing for everything, and
yeah,
like cheering it on. And to me, immediately, I was like, something sus about this whole presentation. But yet, so many people there were just eating it up, and that's just
yeah.
I just don't know if it's just something about me or the way that I think. I just can't even. I can't even go with it. Like I can't even suspend disbelief enough to listen to shit like that.
And Othram is front and center of this Crime Con as well. They're
Of course.
David Middleman is going to be one of the featured people there. I'm sure they're going to have the biggest booth in the middle of the vendor floor. They're going to be talked about on half the stories will be a mention to Othram and how they're involved.
Guess who they'll have on their stage, probably, folks.
Oh yeah. Well, they're gonna have. Yeah, I'm almost certain Steve and Christy are gonna be up there with Othram. Yes, I'm almost certain of that, but we'll see. But
yeah, I just I cannot get away from the way that I frame things on the bigger picture when I see things like this, because it's very heavy-handed. It has been, all along, and to me that always puts the red flags up.
This is a good question. Ipati asked in here, do they scrub innocent people's DNA from CODIS after a crime has been solved? That's an interesting thing, because CODIS is a database specifically for people involved in a crime case. But I bet you once in CODIS, always in CODIS kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think they do. I mean, they shouldn't do that if they're doing it. I think that's illegal, but I mean, anything's possible, but I don't think so.
I believe, Kathleen Bell, that you can still get tickets to CrimeCon. I believe so. Yes, it's not a cheap affair. I will tell you that. The higher end tickets that cost more money for the VIP access or the gold or the platinum, those I think are sold out. But the main tickets, which are still not cheap, are available. I would love for any of you who make it to CrimeCon. I'll be walking around with my beautiful wife. We'll both have merch on. At least I will have merch on. And so if you see us, please tap us on the shoulder. Oh, well, do so without coming up with me with your hand in your jacket or something. You're going to shoot me or some shit like that. But come up and say hi. I would love to see if I guess I'll know I have made it as a YouTuber if I walk through CrimeCon and somebody goes, "Hey, look, it's Devil's Advocates," which almost happened last year. So make that day for me. Come say hi to me at CrimeCon and let me know that you saw me. I would appreciate it very much. And if anything, come hang out in Vegas, because if I know you're there, we'll make efforts to do shit with you after hours. We'll go hang out at Fremont Street or something and go do something fun. So that'd be fun.
What's sad is when I was looking at pricing on this, it's almost cheaper to go hang out in Vegas than to go to CrimeCon, folks. Literally.
Yes, yeah. CrimeCon's very expensive. I'll be honest, it's very expensive, but
I fully agree. It's crazy. That's why I'm not going, because cost-wise, we can't do it this year, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go. My wife wanted to go. It's just not going to happen this year. That's all. Maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe if you guys blow my channel up and make me this big, huge creator.
You never know. This you never know. Like stranger things have fucking happened. Stranger things have happened.
I may be there as well, but if I go, I'll probably do one day of CrimeCon, depending on what is available and what days I might have interest in certain things. I'm still waiting to tie up a few loose ends on my end before I can commit to it. So
Here's the thing, JJ. If you do go, here's what's cool. This is what I would recommend. So Rhonda and I are committed. We paid for a little higher end ticket, so we're balls deep in this thing. So we're going to CrimeCon, and we're going to go to as many events as we can because we paid dearly to be there, right? And we paid a while ago when I thought. Anyways, the point being is that we paid big. But if JJ goes and he's not going to be at CrimeCon all day with us, it's a great opportunity for you to hang out with State of the Deep all day long while you're waiting for Rhonda and I to get done with the day, and then we can all meet up afterwards. So it would be a great opportunity if he goes. So yeah.
it's still a very good chance. The only reason I told DA today that I might not go is because there's some stuff with buying a new motorcycle that's came back on the table, which I was not going to do. And then all of a sudden it presented itself again. And obviously it's going to require, money up front. And that is one of the main things that could prevent me from doing it. I can do it. It's just, that's a pain. Anybody who's bought a car or a motorcycle knows it's a lot of horseshit you have to deal with, and selling my bike or trading it in and then trying to buy a new one and the money up front and all that stuff. And I hope to know more about that soon. But who knows, man? I'm one of those people. If I get a wild hair down to the wire, if that room's still available, I could be like the day before, all right, I'm coming, if the room's still available.
Yeah. And in fact, I mean, I don't want to sell the room out from underneath you, but if anybody else is going and wants cheaper accommodation, we do have one room open, and I'd love to sell that room, if you will, or give a portion of it to JJ. But we've got a room, we got an Airbnb with 3 rooms, and and one of those rooms is unspoken for because JJ's on the fence. So I told JJ, I'm like, if I find somebody to fill the room, it may go first, but you have first dibs. So,
but here's the caveat.
Yeah.
If somebody takes that room, you have to let me sleep on the floor if I decide to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there's actually a pull-out sofa, actually. So if you don't mind on the pull-out sofa, you'll be fine.
Say you probably got couches and stuff there too. So
Correct. Yeah, there are other options. Yeah, for sure.
And I only snore sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I've already shared a bedroom with you.
Yeah, this guy, man, you don't want to be sleeping in a room with DA, man. Let me just tell you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going a little late as usual. I usually wrap this up for 2 hours, and I realize it's Friday night, and we spent, I think, a good hour and 30 minutes talking about music, which I guess is a Friday night kind of thing. Let's talk a little bit again about the book, and let's close out for the day. For those of you who haven't gotten yourself a copy, make sure you get a pre-order of Broken Plea, the explosive search for truth behind the Idaho murders. As it says up above in that subtitle up there, it says the trial that never happened and the shocking evidence never revealed. That is a truth. I have read the book. I got an advanced copy from the publisher. There are many moments in the book that start with a sentence, "The following information has never been told to the public before." It is a blockbuster. Blow your doors off. I am sworn to secrecy with the publisher and the author. I've given my word that they won't get leaks from us. So we are in the bag with Christopher Wickham to talk to him, with an interview and even a live presentation with our panel. So you do not want to miss it. I guarantee you this is not another hit piece. This is a game-changing discussion. A game-changing discussion. You do not want to miss this book. Get a pre-copy of the book immediately so that when it comes out, you can follow along. And then after you get done cleaning yourself up from pissing yourself, then you can go read the actual chapter that we talked about, because there's going to be some bombs, and you're going to be like, wait a minute. Is that in the book? What chapter is that in? So you're gonna want to get that.
I'm curious about. Truly, I've been thinking about this all day. I'm curious if Steve and Christy are going to buy and read this book, and if they do, what they're going to do when they're done.
So it's a great. I mean, that's what Circus Music posted here. Do you think Stephen Christie will be pissed about the book when it comes out? Yeah, I mean, literally, as you were saying that, we pinned a comment. And again, I have to be careful because I'm of a promise not to leak anything about the book. I will say, I as well. Here's what I'm going to say: CrimeCon just got a lot more fucking interesting.
I was just thinking that. Yeah,
this book is going to make. I believe it's going to make national, possibly international news. And it's going to be what people are talking about leading into CrimeCon, as the Gonsalveses are going to take center stage with Othram Labs talking about what a great job they did catching the bad guy. And this book is going to make you question, did you get it right? And so how fucking interesting is CrimeCon going to be? And are the Gonsalveses going to try to sue the publisher and sue the author for what's said? I personally believe, again, I can't give any details of the book away. I personally believe they can't sue because look, a defamation suit means you have to, the person has to know that what they said was not true.
Yep.
And everything in this book can be backed up with actual facts. So I don't believe there's any ground for a lawsuit because the author's not saying anything that's not untrue. They're things that can be backed up with facts. So, yeah.
And he has resources that he's pulling, from my understanding, that make these facts. So therefore, in turn, of defamation, you can't do that. The judge will throw that out, in my opinion. So, and that's
right. That's
what I was
Mag
thinking.
Canny Mag says they're ordering it and I better be right. Look, if you don't think I'm right, I'll give you a public apology. I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed in that book. I'm telling you. It'll open up questions you've never heard before, and it's going to be worth it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why that question came up for me, Lise, because we were just talking about CrimeCon, and I was thinking, as soon as you said this, I was like, I wonder if, first off, if they're going to read it at all. And if they do, holy shit, could that change CrimeCon up a lot, is what I was thinking. So,
yeah. And keep in mind, for those, I mean, I think I made it clear, but I want to make sure you're clear. I'm not telling you what I guess the book says. I've read the book. I know what it says. So I'm not making a guess and saying, hey, you should get this book. It's probably going to be pretty good. I know what the book says. It's a game changer for discussion. So, and I believe everyone, I believe your favorite YouTuber, if I'm not your favorite YouTuber is going to be fucking quoting from this book and talking about this book and getting him on their show. This is going to be all we're talking about for fucking months to come, in my opinion. So it's that much. It comes out on April 28th is when so you can order it now on pre-order. The book drops April 28th. The publisher told me I'm sworn to secrecy until April 28th. I'm allowed to speak at midnight on April 28th. They said, literally, you have fulfilled your obligation to us if you don't say anything until midnight on the 28th. Now, granted, dropping something at midnight on the 28th isn't necessarily the best time for YouTube, so we probably won't drop at midnight, but I'm allowed to, and somebody probably will, because everyone's going to want to be the first person to go, oh my God, what's in that book? So look, we're trying to figure out the best time to tell you the information, but the 28th is when the book comes out, and you're going to want to get a copy of it.
Yeah. WSU Mom, Christopher Whitcomb is the author. And why did he write it? Because he wants to put what he feels, in my opinion, he wants to put what he feels is the truth out from what he has found out to write about.
Yeah, and look, Christopher Whitcomb, Christopher has had a long and storied career. I believe he said he's been in 5 different military engagements. He's been a sniper. He was involved in very high-profile cases. That I believe Ruby Ridge was a case that he had been involved in. Waco, Texas. Remember the Waco thing with David Koresh? He was there as well. He's been with the FBI as an agent. 20 years ago, he was in the FBI. He's a former FBI agent as well. So this guy has got some credentials. He's written multiple books. He's talked about hostage negotiations. Wouldn't it be interesting to talk to this guy about the Brent Kopacka hostage? No, it wasn't a hostage situation. It was sort of, right? It started as his roommates were threatened with death by Kopacka. So he's got insights, and he's got a long and storied career. And I would say that if I were to put words in Christopher's mouth, I would say this. He says, like, look, I've lived a long life. At this point, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you what I think about things. That's why he and I resonated. This guy is like, I've lived a long life. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you what I think happened, kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be great shit. Great stuff.
A lot of the questions you guys are asking in chat, I have the same questions, and I think those will come out in the interview. More than likely, a lot of those same questions will be asked. So I'm looking forward to knowing those things as well, you guys. I
Yeah.
truly am. Um, I'm interested to know why he thinks Brian. Well, he never. I don't know that he says that truly, but we don't know anything. Nobody does at this point until that book comes out. So
Yeah.
that would be. I would love to see anybody say that besides us. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to
Right.
see anybody within. Let me say this too. I'm real curious as to how legacy or mainstream media is going to handle this. Honest to God, because from everything we've seen in the past, okay, anytime something comes out that we go at, that we get a hold of, that we break down, mainstream media doesn't seem to touch it too much. Okay, especially if it goes against the narrative that Brian could be guilty. I'm real curious to see how they take this book because they covered the Patterson book, they covered the Bloom book, and I think they even spoke about Scott Green's book. So are they going to do the same with this one? If it's
And I
different than the
will
rest of those,
I will tell you this. I don't think this is violating anything of the book. Christopher has access to who he knows, to things that the public hasn't seen. So he's not just giving his thoughts and opinions based on the same shit we all know. He literally has seen stuff that the rest of us haven't seen. The question WSU mom asked, how did you get a copy of the book so early? I'll tell you, here's the thing. I reached out to the publisher, and I was super stoked to find out that Christopher knew who we were. So when I reached out to him, I was told Christopher had seen us before, and so when we reached out to him, he went back and kind of looked into us again and was like, "Yeah, I'll do an interview with that guy." So. Kudos to us in our community that Christopher thought that yeah, I'll do something with the Devil's Advocates because he had seen us before. So that's
and he
how that
says
happened. So
he says right on the cover, guys, that um the trial that never happened and the shocking evidence never revealed. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm interested in. So I can't wait for this. Truly.
Look, I haven't read the book yet, man, but he's got great hair.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever seen any interviews of him. I looked up some interviews of him to kind of get an idea for what his speaking style is going to be. He's got tatted sleeves from, all the way up his arm on both arms kind of thing. And I was talking to him a little bit about how what kind of respect I should show him on the show. And he's like, hey, look, expect me to probably just be in short sleeves, and tattoos and shit. And we'll just talk like two dudes, which will make that even more of an exciting thing that we don't have to have those pretenses up on something. This is going to be a couple of dudes talking turkey. I think it's going to be really fucking special. I think you're going to love it.
And if he wrestled, then I'm gonna win him over like right out of the gate.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So there you go. Check that out. Make sure you don't miss it. We'll be promoting it a lot because this could be a defining moment for us as a channel to get the opportunity to go with somebody who's written what I think is a game changer book. I know it's a privilege regardless. If only two people see it, it was a fucking honor. Like I can't thank Christopher Whitcomb enough for what he's done on the book. I can't thank him enough for giving us this opportunity. For his publisher at HarperCollins, everything about the whole thing has been a super respectful, and I'm humbled that we get this opportunity. So it's special from us. I hope that that you will enjoy it. I trust that you are going to enjoy it. Don't forget to tell your panel how much Whitcomb loved them. Yeah, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but it was kind of clear. Something that I heard from Christopher was he was impressed with our knowledge of the case and the experts that we have on my show. So he did a shout out to. It seemed like he did a shout out to our panel as well. That not only did he appreciate our knowledge of the case, but the great minds that are part of our panel. So I don't want to put too much words in Christopher's mouth, but he did seem to know, had seen the show before. So that was great. All right.
Awesome.
yeah. So let's cross our fingers that that goes well. I'm convinced that it's going to change the narrative for a
What
lot of people.
what day
Yeah.
is this again, roughly, Lee? That this is all going to be able to be put out?
The April 28th, which I believe is a Tuesday. So I believe April 28th, Tuesday at midnight, and they didn't specify the time zone. So at midnight, that when it officially becomes the 28th, it's open season on pre-recorded interviews or whatever. The book will be released and all this with that. I don't know how the time zone issue works out. I don't know if that's
Right.
midnight Eastern time or whatever the case may be, but that's when the book actually releases. Again, I can't. I've said enough already. I can't, and I don't want to say anymore.
Just wanted
It's
to
just
ask that. People were asking the night or the day
the
again. So I
28th.
just wanted
Go to Amazon. It's sad because the reality is there's something called an affiliate link, right? Which is like if you click on our affiliate link, we can get a little tiny spiff for you buying the book from us. It doesn't cost you any more. We could get a spiff. Unfortunately, like a dumbass, I'm promoting the hell out of this book and telling you need to have a book, and I'm not even giving you my affiliate link, so I can't get a couple of cents off of the purchase of the book, and that's okay. It's more important for you to get the fucking book and get it ordered right away than to use our affiliate link. But if
you could do that quick, dude. You could do.
I know.
That
I was gonna
quick.
say. We will have it on the replay. So if you watch this on the replay and you're watching this on replay, the affiliate link will be in the description. We'll make sure that's in there. And and again, if you haven't bought it yet, maybe wait like 20 minutes and let us get the affiliate link added to the show notes, and you can buy it through us and support the channel a little bit. I'd appreciate that very much.
There you go.
All right. I think that's it, guys. Let's do a round the horn wrap up, and let's go. JJ, Dago, Robin, and then myself. So JJ, your closing thoughts for the evening.
Yeah, thank you, DA, Robin, Dago, denizens, meatballs, and the awesome mods, as always. This is a big deal, like this is, I would go as far as to say this is kind of what a lot of us have been waiting for. It is somebody that has a lot of street cred, so to speak, in the law enforcement world. And they are putting out something that will perhaps address things that none of the other large scale true crime people and mainstream media people are willing to address. And the fact that DA has got the first interview with this guy is a huge thing. So kudos to Christopher Whitcomb for putting out this book. And I think it's going to be a big thing. I think it's going to give people something else to dig into that's has credibility. It's not just, oh, this is just some true crime creator. Oh, these people are crazy. He can't be dismissed easily like they've tried to do with all the others asking questions. And I think that's really, really important. So I'm looking forward to it. And if I can, I will be there for the live after on the 28th. I'm going to try to get that lockdown tomorrow if I can. And I think it's a really cool thing for all of us. So good job, DA.
All right. Thank you so much. And I do hope that you can make it for the panel discussion. For those who are in Dago's chat, Dago also has been invited to be on that panel discussion with Christopher Whitcomb after. So it's going to be clear so you understand how that's going to work. It's going to be a 2-hour pre-recorded interview between Christopher and I talking about the book where I ask the questions that I have on my mind. And then he's agreed to join us for a live panel discussion for those who watched the premiere for 2 hours and have, now that you've heard the questions that we talked about, what did you think about it and what did you wish you would have asked him? And he says he's gonna make time to be on that channel with that panel with us. So we're gonna have our panelists on there. So you should see Dago, if you're on Dago's side, get that opportunity to be with us. It's gonna be an exciting time. He's part of our team, so we want to make that available to JJ and to Dago and to Robin and one. Hopefully, if he's not doing his police duties, we'll have the whole panel up to talk to Chris. It'll be a great special moment. Dago, what's your closing thoughts?
First and foremost, great conversation tonight, especially the music stuff, guys. I'm in love with that always, and I can't ever turn my head on that. But Great conversation, great show. As always, great community interaction. I love what you guys have to say, feel, and think on these things. Again, as DA just explained, I'm very excited about being able to do this with Mr. Whitcomb. Highly looking forward to that. And I can't wait. I'm probably going to be like super antsy and jittery for the rest of the time till we get to do it. So I'm like a ADHD 5-year-old, guys, is what I'm feeling. So just saying. So thank you for that opportunity as well. And Robin, Lee, and JJ, as always, thank you for having me here. It's always an honor to be able to have these conversations. Thank you to these amazing and wonderful moderators for doing everything you do. Of course, thank you to my production manager, Mikey, my videographer, Molly, and everybody on my team as well. You guys are amazing, as well as the team with Devil's Advocates. All amazing, all wonderful, and all appreciated. Again, we would never exist without any of you. So thank you for that. All of the rest of you beautiful people, don't forget how awesome and amazing you are. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other, and please, please don't change a thing. You are absolutely beautiful the way you are. Nothing but love. God bless and good night.
All right, and for those who I talked about it earlier, there is our affiliate link. What an affiliate link is, for full disclosure, is all it means is you pay the exact same price for the book as anybody on Amazon.com. But if you use our affiliate link, they give us a little tiny spiff for having us promote the book and order it. So again, we don't have some kind of special deal where I'm promoting the hell out of the book because we're getting 20% of the book or some shit. Like, it's nothing like that. It's a fraction. It's a little tiny piece just for providing you a link. But it costs you nothing extra and gives us a little tiny something in support. So if you're going to buy the book anyways, please consider buying it through our affiliate link. It just gives us a little bit of extra help on the side, and also shows him that our audience heard it from us and bought the book through us, and that gives us recognition. Robin, what do you have for your closing thoughts?
Well, thank everyone for coming out tonight. As always, we appreciate it, when you do, and love seeing your comments and questions in the chat. You guys were on fire again tonight, especially during the music stuff. It was so cool seeing all of your experiences with your first concerts, and for some of you that was back during your younger days, and so it was really neat. I kind of feel a little bit living vicariously through you guys. So thanks for joining in and participating in that. And we love it when you come out, but we also appreciate our amazing replay crew. So we appreciate you just as much. But yeah, when this is going to really be something, and as an author, I can tell you, his Christopher's writing style is very detailed. So that is what I can tell you, without, that's all I'll say about that. But very, very detailed, research oriented. So I looking so forward to this, and so glad that this community is getting this chance to have someone not be afraid to ask hard questions. So it's I'll go so far as to say it's going to be epic. So hold on your hats, folks.
I agree. Thank you, Robin, very much. And that is it for me this evening. Again, for those of you who did order the book immediately when I was promoting it and you didn't have my affiliate link, don't feel sorry. Don't be like, oh, I wish you would have done that. I'm so sorry. Like, it is what it is. I was the dumbass for not having my affiliate link right off the bat when I talked about it. But we will have the affiliate link in the replay notes and in the description of the show so that you'll be able to do it that way. Again, I want to make it clear. It's not like we got some kind of exclusive deal and I'm promoting a book that's garbage, but I just want you to buy it because we're getting some money off of it. It's not garbage. It is an amazing book. It's worth if you are a person who questions the official story, this is going to give you new, why the fuck didn't we hear that from the beginning kind of questions. And so it's going to be a game changer for some people who think, look, what's the famous statement? Nobody pleads guilty to something they didn't do, dumbass. He obviously did it. He pled guilty. Well, get the fucking book.
And
I hate to
DA,
drop somebody
you
up,
might
folks. Get
not
the book.
say this, DA, but if people are diehard, ride or die Devil's Advocates fans, they can cancel their order and reorder it through the affiliate link.
Yes, you could. You're right. Even if you ordered it, you probably can cancel and then redo it to the link.
Yeah, 'cause it's not
you're
out
probably
yet.
correct. Yeah,
Right.
right, because it's not out.
Right.
Absolutely right. So if you really
Right.
love us, yeah, I'll I don't know what I can do. I'll send you a rubber cookie. So yeah, no, I can't because the spiff will get off as it probably doesn't cover the rubber cookie. But anyways, you can help us out. And again, if nothing else, more than the little tiny bit that we get from it, it'd be cool to let the publisher know that our people heard it from us, right? That would be very cool. So thank you all. We'll see you again tomorrow night, same time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get the book. It's going to be off the hook. Wow, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Have a good evening.
Good night, everybody.